What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorne. How you doing? Having a lovely Thursday over here. Hope you are as well. It's Thursday, right? Honestly, the days are just melting together. Just a couple of short weeks until TwitchCon, which of course I'm going to be probably heading out to. I mean, I've got plans, so yeah, hopefully nothing goes awry and keeps that from happening. So that will mean a little bit of a dead time for streams. You know, there's going to be, unless I do some kind of IRL thing there, but I always want to, and I never really come around to doing that. I always want to do something like that. You know, they have like the IRL streaming backpacks. That'd be kind of fun, but like, it's like, I don't know, it's like $70 for a few hours. I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool. I don't know. I'd have to book it in advance to get that price, but. And then it's like $100 on site if you're like, get a backpack and stream. I don't even know how they work. You know, like a modem in there, and I don't know. It's crazy. But anyways, hi. I already with the tangents. What's up, Bone Shock? Good evening to you as well. Exiled Wolf, how you doing? And Sick PCs, welcome, Mikey. How you doing? Over in YouTube land. What's going on, John Paul Bacon? Welcome. How you doing, Steve? Welcome in, Chris. How are you? Hope you're doing right, getting good grades, etc., shades. I always fell backwards into good grades. I was good at testing, good at taking tests and stuff, so I never really had to study a whole lot, which is to my detriment once I got to college, I'll tell you that. That didn't work out there, I'll tell you. You better Seahawks if the Rams... Are you talking about sport ball, John Paul? I'm really sorry to say so, but I didn't grow up being gifted with an appreciation for sports, and I didn't find it on my own, unfortunately. TJ Sparks, welcome. How you doing? Technology, sports, and music are some of my favorite things. Hey, John Paul, for me, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Office still not finished. Sitting near forklifts and pallets. Oh, boy. So much room for activities, though. I'm telling you. Jay Beers, what's up? Jay Beers says to like the stream, people. How about that? I mean, what are you going to say? No? It's like, it's one click. You could do it. It's not a big deal if you don't. It's okay. I don't mind. It's fine. Not like I want you to, Baka. I'm kidding. Peter, what's going on? Welcome. How you doing? Alucard, how you doing? Welcome in. Peter, thank you for being in both streams. I appreciate that. Man, I hated tests in school. All I did was get bad grades on them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I had this thing. And it's something I discovered from my creative endeavors. That I passively memorize stuff. It was like in band, I was the first person who would, you know, because if you're doing marching band, if you're doing band, and I was a band kid, I was also a theater kid, I was all that. In band, when you're doing marching band stuff, you have the little music holders. I was the first to take that off. I'd be the first to take that off and be on the field and just be playing and all that. I wasn't very good at sight reading music, I'll tell you that, but I would memorize music like really easily. And then with acting, with theater, I was feeding the other people their lines. Nobody ever liked that. Nobody. I just wanted to be helpful, but I would accidentally memorize scripts. Not my lines. Scripts. And this was just a passive. It was like a passive skill. You know, it's nothing I could really take credit for. It's just something that would happen. Well, that also happened with me just sitting in class. Do I remember any of the stuff now? No. It wasn't a great thing, honestly, in terms of long-term remembering things. But it helped me get through school. Once I got to college, though, things were a lot harder, and you had to do a lot more stuff away from school, which I wasn't used to. I would just sit in class and just get my homework done. The homework I got from the class before, I would sit in the class after that, do that homework while I was listening to the teacher or whatever. And then just, I don't maybe have one bit of homework at the end of the day. It was ridiculous. TJ Sparks, thank you for being in both streams. I appreciate that. Welcome. Observer of Thoughts, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. to be the only one who have liked the stream so far. I mean, that's a thing. Boba Ship shirt, cool shirt, terrible name. Yeah, true. But it's actually an Akira reference. Camera, don't fail me here. Yeah. Terrible name, indeed, Steve. Feel y'all are coming in with the references here. We got Cool Runnings. We got Future So Bright, Gotta Wear Shades. This is great. This is like my childhood here. Or my youth. I was 2. Counter often freezes after hitting like why? God knows. Yeah, if you refresh it, it should show. Anton, what's going on? Welcome. And Observer of Thoughts, thank you for being in both streams. I appreciate that. Yes, Rurutu, that's the one. But it's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming in with the warm greetings. Like as an example of the warm greetings, here we have Quake QGG. Can I us a 5060 Ti or 5070? That's how I like to say hi to my mom when I see her after a while. You know, like she's like, "Hi, son," and I'm like, "Can I us a 5060 Ti or 5070?" As a greeting from person to person. It's a great one, I got to tell you. And then I continue to demand information from her immediately. It's just, you know, it's a way of showing that you care. But you can use whatever parts you want. Sure. That's not the whole story, though. Quake QGG. Hello, bro. Sorry. Haha. There you go. Yeah, I'm a person, too. How about that? Yeah. What's up? I appreciate that. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'll tell you what I do, the way it works, Quake. It's pretty cool. I think, in my own potentially biased opinion, what I do is pretty cool. You actually fill out a form that forces you to give me some helpful information about what you're trying to do, your budget, stuff like that. Because like your budget's not mentioned in there, like 9950X 3D. I don't know if you need that. You certainly don't need that just for streaming and gaming, right? It's overkill, especially because when you turn on a game, you only have 8 cores, not 16. It's called core parking. So this right here is the form that you fill out, that link right there. You can't see it here. You see my command to bring it up. But that link right there, you click that, you fill out that form, and you get a free one-on-one where I go through what your budget is, what you're going to use your PC for, and we figure out the most optimal way for you to go, whether it's a pre-built or if you're building your own PC, which is if you're doing DIY, I put together a thoroughly thought out parts list for you to get, and I take all the doubt out of it for you. You don't have to do, this is not like, I'm not here giving you financial advice. You don't have to do what I'm suggesting, but you know, a few people have found it somewhat helpful. Bone Shock, did you hear about the new 5090 Zotac water-cooled card? I'm sure it'll be a bargain, Bone Shock. I did not hear about it, no. Cecil Reed, we got yet another person talking about hitting the like button. It's like it's like a whole YouTube thing. Crazy, right? Thank you, Cecil. How's it going? Welcome. Does it cost money, or are you doing this for free? No, it's free. Yeah, it's just what I do for streams. Yeah. Which do you prefer, red or blue team? Are you talking about like Rooster Teeth? Red versus blue? If you're talking about Intel versus AMD, Get Rex, welcome, by the way. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. If you're looking for that, it depends on the person and what they're doing with their PC and whether they want to have, whether they care about upgrading their CPU over time or not. Some people don't. Intel loves that, by the way. But yeah, for some people, Intel's right. For other people, AMD is right. So it depends. As for what I prefer, it depends on what my machine is for. I've got AMD in my gaming and streaming machine right here But my video editing machine back here, hi, say hello to it. It's brand new. I built it on stream recently. It's looking pretty great back there. Oh, I have the stinger up on top. I didn't mean to do that. The magnet fell off, so I need to super glue it so that it wouldn't fall off. I have it on top of the PC, so it's like the stinger's like whip. Ignore that, please. Anyways, that is Intel and Core Ultra 200S, which is a very underrated platform, IMO. Yo, Anton, coming in with a $2 super chat. Let's go, nerds. This is for the earlier stream, the 5090 AI build. That was, when did I do? I don't remember that, Anton, but awesome. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. TL Foreman, what's going on? Of course, you don't have to take his advice for your builds or rigs, but you should. If you hear, but thank you very much, TL. If you hear me responding to somebody you can't see and you're watching on Twitch, it's because you can't see YouTube chat, which would be kind of cool to have like right here, or to have it mixed in right here. But because of Twitch, I can't do that because of their TOS. But thank you again, Anton. I appreciate that. And thank you, TL, for the kind words. Was hoping more for that Palette Bierstein rendered image was going to be real. Yeah. What's up, Ghost Poner? How's it going? Well, CPUs will usually last a good 5 to 10 years if you take care of your PC, but with that comes the facts of being responsible. It depends. Ghost Poner, for those who are making money off their PC, they will usually upgrade more frequently because time is money, and a lot of times that can save you time or provide you with professional features that you're lacking previously. But yeah. Package, what's going on? Welcome. Most PC gamers shove it in a corner, never move it, never dust it out till they move somewhere. You need to dust out your PC at least once a year, guys. Come on. Especially depending on how dusty your environment gets. And that's not always your fault. Sometimes it is. Clean up. Clean up in your space if you can. If I can do it, and I've got chronic fatigue syndrome up the wazoo over here. If I can do it, I believe in you. I believe you can do it too. And I even had a hurt back when I was cleaning up in here. I was taking it very easily. I was being very careful, and I was on ibuprofen. Toasty Bros do it. What do they do? Package, what do they do? Joel and True said, watch on both. I hardly support that. Are you watching on both? I forget. Is it under a different name, Joel? And I'm sorry. I would prefer budget around $2K, but I can push to $3K. Oh, you filled out the form. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. But yeah, if you're in a really dusty environment or just in general, the room gets dusty, some older homes are like that. That's just like that. Or if you have pets that are constantly near your PC, you need to clean out your dust filters more frequently. Especially, and fun fact, that can increase. Like when in the beginning of summer, if you have cats, and dogs, they're gonna shed more to thin out their coats to have them be lighter for the summer weather, and that means more pet hair everywhere. That kind of stuff, you need to think about that. Okay, so Quake Egg, future proof. Hard to say that there is such a thing. You can just build it really well and spec it out really well and hope for the best. I mean, who knows? They might be releasing quantum computers in 2 years, and we cannot proof against that future. That's going to be a better option probably whenever that happens. But we do our best. And I'll be getting to the forums here in a bit. I still have to open all that up and get it all ready to go. I usually spend some time in the beginning just chit-chatting with you guys, getting into the swing of things, and that's how I like to do it. Open up my stuff here so I can at least be ready for that. Oh, Eminem's build, the Ripper. Right. The protein folding machine last week. YouTube ate my super chat. Oh, okay. Some tech YouTubers been spreading fake news about Radeon outselling NVIDIA this year. Yeah, that's not happening. But what is happening is the Force Gaming Network for Nerds coming in with a $10 super chat. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the months of content. The computer build you built for me a month ago. Didn't have the money then, but I do now. Thanks. Well, now you have $10 less of it. Thank you very much, Force Gaming Network for Nerds, and also Anton earlier for the $2 super chat. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I didn't mean to zoom in again, but hi. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope the build goes well. Dream, what's up? Welcome. Oh, you won a PC from Toasty Bros. That's awesome. Of course, I am in Yes Different Names. Well, Joel, I appreciate that. Thank you. Vaquero, welcome. Congrats, Rucho, on winning a PC from Toasty Bros. Tell us more about that. I'm lucky my new house is barely dusty at all. I've had my new PC for about 4 months almost. Almost opened my PC the other day to replace the faulty fan hub, and I was so shocked there was only a tiny layer of thin invisible dust in the fans and only a super small bit of it. So the dust should be not necessarily inside the PC. If your filters are doing their jobs, the dust is going to be on the filters. Make sure you clear those out. And generally, you'll have to, on a front mesh case, you got to remove the front panel and remove the dust filter from there, clean it off. It depends which case you have. If it's a side intake case, like a dual chamber case, O11 RGB or whatever, O11 Evo, you got to take off that right side panel where those side intake fans are, and then there'll be a filter in there you got to clean off. That kind of thing. Future Room PC the best I could, yet it won't last more than 2 years with AM5 support. Peckish, I don't know if you've been paying attention to how AMD has been treating AM4. They're still releasing CPUs for a socket they said plainly that they would stop supporting in 2020. So 5 years after, AMD does not let a socket go to waste. You don't just have 2 years of support for AM5 left if AMD follows the pattern that they have established. I don't think you got to worry about that too much. A16 5G, Vaquero, very cool. I'm still on the S23 Ultra. It's served my purposes quite well. I'm not in a hurry to get rid of it. AMD might be selling out all their inventory, but they probably have 8 times less than TSMC allocation for GPU chips. It really, people are looking more at market share. It's not close. It's tragically unclose. Now, sure, if you want to look at production versus how much has sold, I don't know, maybe AMD is doing better there. I think they're all going to be doing just fine. The product offerings are pretty good, and if the prices are reasonable, like they are right now, where they're all either at or close to MSRP. In fact, with some few that are under MSRP for the current generations of GPUs, then they're going to sell pretty well. I mean, it's just, y'all have to remember also that luxury goods aren't people's priority right now. And that definitely means gaming PCs. That's why things slowed down around here so much. I mean, y'all know we used to have people left over by the end of a 4-hour stream who I wasn't able to get to helping, and they would have to, roll over to the next stream or whenever they came back. But here we are, and it's like, if we did 4 last stream, and I was like, or 5, I was like, whoa, this is the most we've done in a while. So, my side fan's got no filters. Then it probably has a fine mesh on the side panel, and that acts as the filter. So you wipe that down, and then you're usually good to go. True. I just heard people talking about a good motherboard for easy future-proofing, so I can switch parts in the future. That's part of what I concern myself with as I'm doing the build for you. Particularly if you're doing streaming, I pay a lot of attention to the motherboard, because that is the most overlooked part in a streaming PC, and it's the thing that hurts the most if you don't pick well. If you pick a motherboard that... Oh, okay, Quake. You got caught. You got, Quake. You see all these forms before you that were able to fill out the form. I appreciate your honesty, but I would suggest that you pay attention to what the thing says. If you're not ready to purchase sometime within the next month, There's really no reason for you to seek out specifics just yet. It's because things can change drastically. I mean drastically in a very short period of time when it comes to PC parts. We might be getting an announcement next month or the month, 6 weeks from now. We don't know. Especially with, events like CES coming up. So what the form does is it asks whether you're ready to make a purchase sometime within the next week, within the next month, and if you click more than a month, as it says here, and as it will tell you here, more than a month from now, you should not submit this form yet. And when you get to the end of the form, it will tell you in bold, note, if your answer to the second question brought you directly here, please do not submit your form. It is better if you get assistance within a few weeks of making your purchase. Now, you might be just dying to know what the best thing is for you right now. No, you didn't pick a month. You said longer than a month, which could be a year. You know what I mean? There's within the next month or within the week, but you picked a month or longer, basically. And Bears Beats and Battlestars coming in with a tier 1 sub for 24 months. 2 years. Let's go, nerds. Thank you, Triple B. How's it going? Yeah. Jasmine Bean, welcome, by the way. How you doing? Coalition Chris, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Sorry I missed that earlier. I was all in the stuff I was talking about. I always do that. All right, Chris, we'll see you after you get home from work. Please drive safely. Yeah, because I was thinking there'll be sales because of Black Friday. Yeah, and I'll tell you guys. Yeah, I may know a little something about that. I may have a little information. I may have just a little tidbit. Just a little clue. I may just be planning a little something. For Black Friday. I'm just going to say, if your budget is around around $2,000 or just a little under, I got something coming up. I got something cooking. I'm cooking something up. Kind of funny. He will tell us he knows all the secret stuff to make us sad, because we all know he ain't telling us the details. That's because we're ironing out the details. But I'm telling you, the most important piece of information, Peckish, before you get all cynical on me, that if you're around the budget of $2,000, just hold up. I got a very special deal I'm working on. Of course, I ain't telling you the details that don't exist. I just know the goal and who it's with. That I will keep to myself, because we have some fun surprises, and I don't want to spoil those for you. I don't know what that long word means. Cynical. It starts with a C, actually. Other than that, your spelling is perfect. So C instead of S. But basically, you see a situation, you come to the worst conclusion immediately. That's pessimism, really. But it also kind of works for cynicism. Amazon Prime is in a few days. Didn't we just have that, Silent Furies? What's up, Silent Furies? I don't know if I already said hi. But hi again, if I did that. If I didn't do that, hi. My schedule, so we'll lull. I got a few minutes before I go. Figure someone calls me for help. Oh, boy. Yeah, I see the ad coming up. What's up, Gary? How's it going? But yeah, for those of you who are I'm serious. This is something that because last year, as y'all might remember, we also did a deal of it was about 50 PCs we did two PCs, two different levels of PC with Skytech that were Braethorn systems, whatever, and We had one that was like $1,200 or $1,299 that was 1440p gaming all day long. And then the other one that was around $2,000 was 1440p gaming and streaming. It was for those who wanted to do both, right? Well, I'm aiming for something similar, okay? For Black Friday. It's just, I'm not telling you who it's with. I will tell you it's going to be around the game. It's in the gaming and streaming category again. Why would I do that again? Well, it might have something to do with the fact that looking at the responses I normally get, the number one, the number one use case is gaming, right? Second, at almost 50%, 45% of people want to do streaming. It just makes sense to do it. Ad should have been over, by the way. So it makes a lot of sense to do a system that is for gaming and streaming, because it'll be fine for just gaming too, and at a really solid resolution. That like the system right here. This, I mean, you know, I dropped in a little GPU upgrade in it, and it does 4K gaming all day. It's like really good. So yeah, I aim to put together systems that y'all can upgrade, that bring in a lot of value, and that don't ignore any components. Because look, here's the thing. If you're just looking for the cheapest deal you can get for blank CPU, blank GPU for Black Friday, you have to understand there are companies that are ready to help you out with that, but the rest of the PC could be pretty garbo, as in M-ATX motherboard and a full ATX case. So limited expandability, less additional storage you can do, and it looks like poo-poo caca, as you might say. Not great. Also, another way to vocalize that. And you know, it's going to be, you know, whatever power supply. Where is it on the tier list? Oh, that's a lot of red. That's not good. We don't like that. That kind of thing, you know? Whereas, you know, there are certain ways that you can up value if you sort of understand how the supply chain works, and how you can, like, okay, this is a good choice. I didn't think about that. That's really good, and that's going to help us to sort of bring down that cost a little bit, do this and that, but while keeping quality and not sacrificing it, or aesthetics or performance. Hell yeah. There's a lot that goes into that. So that's why no details yet. It's going to sound stupid, brace yourself for reading this. I know it's dumb, but like running my GPU on X4 lanes with 4 gigs limit of bandwidth won't hurt my GPU long term at all. Peckish, that's going to be you're talking about it having a quarter of the bandwidth. Yeah, that's a performance decrease, depending on the level of GPU, but it's a huge bottleneck. You don't want that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Sailor says, remember to get a UPS also for your PC. Very true. Zintek, I hope I already said hi. Pretty sure I did. What's up? Bergie, what's up? Welcome. Bergie5. Hope you're doing well. 9660 limited 4 gigs from the... Yeah. Package, it's a bottleneck. It is a bottleneck. Yes. I can't give you numbers. And I'm sure you wouldn't expect me to give you numbers. But it is a and I can't really say literal bottleneck, but yeah, you're taking this wide of a stream of data and trying to squeeze it through this. I mean, listen, we've all gotten a milkshake, right? And then right when you first get it, you're trying to drink it through the straw and you feel like your brain's going to implode. That's you trying to get your graphics to happen, you know? It'll still work and it'll display, but when you're really trying to put it under load, the GPU just can't get the data out. And then it's not good. Or who's been on a 4-lane highway when it comes down to 1 lane of traffic? That's probably the even more relatable situation. A 4-lane highway at rush hour with only 1 lane open of traffic. And you're like, I wish I could just get off somewhere. But, oh, everybody else had that idea, right? Yeah. No good. Not much, man. Good. But I probably won't see like half the performance lull, right? Remember how I literally said, Peckish, I can't give you numbers? Half is a number. It's a fraction, right? Like that 50%. I can't give you numbers. I don't know. I've never put myself in that situation, you know? And if it means like a CPU upgrade as well, because I think you said you were on like a 5600G or something like that, or you were on an APU and that's causing an issue with that. Whatever you need to do to if you need to upgrade your CPU, it's your next move. It'll work in the meantime, but you're probably not going to want to like sugarcoat it for yourself. Understand the situation you're in, realize the limitations it's going to cause, and that maybe certain things are just not going to work very well until that fix happens. Any way to free up more lanes on my 8500? I don't think so. I don't know. I've never messed with that CPU. Make Xeons great again. Chris, I got a company you'd be very interested in. And no, they did not make it great. In fact, they lied about the generation that it was. It was great. It was awesome. I want a Chick-fil-A cookies and cream milkshake so bad, says Sick PCs. They do make a solid milkshake, but Mikey, have you seen how small they are now? Like, it's shrinkflation. Hit them hard. It's everywhere, man. It sucks. Right guy, how's it going? Welcome. Get Rex says, does the same 5060 Ti 8 gig versus 5060 Ti 16 gig same performance? No, different card, half the VRAM, better performance on 5060 Ti 16 gig. That's why it cost more. And I think that makes sense. There's charts out there that you can literally look at to see how it does in comparison. And generally, it's going to make a difference when you're looking at 1440p gaming, which the 5060 Ti 16 gig, totally capable of 1440p. 8 gig card, less so, especially when it comes to high resolution textures. Holy crap, that's going to be a bad situation. I haven't had one in over a year. Yeah. Lol, who? Oh God, what was their name? I have to find it. But they're one of those brands on Amazon that like sells like a $600 gaming PC, and it's like a 3050 with an old Xeon processor, and they have a custom in-house motherboard, right? That comes with I think it has like a 512 storage drive with the OS on it, and no other M.2, and the SATA ports are disabled, and you cannot re-enable them. So, like, you're stuck with that unless you know how to load Windows, which a lot of people buying pre-builts might not feel comfortable with that. And it was like DDR3, like, that was that generation of Xeon. Damn, it barely ran. It barely ran. Yeah. Oh, God. I need to remember what they were called. Because they reached out to me afterwards. And they're like, yeah, we don't know why you got that one. I'm like, because you can't control your stock at Amazon. You sell them a bunch of PCs with the old CPU, but then you send them, you keep the same name, but put in a more modern Xeon, which is still not modern. It's still 5 years old instead of 9 years old or whatever. Right. And then they're like, we don't want to change the name. But we're going to update the specs there. But Amazon might still have some of the old ones. That's how they sent the wrong one. And that's why it was blatantly a lie on the site. And they can't just tell Amazon, hey, throw those away. It was really stupid. Not Apex or Root 2. I've never gotten a PC from Apex, and I never want to. Apex is a waste of space. I'm pretty sure. Let me just go through my dashboard here and look at my previous streams. I'll find it. I just got so many streams. Novatech. It was Novatech. Yeah, Novatech. Just like all GPUs with different variants with different VRAM, the lower VRAM one will always perform slightly slower even not you. Yeah. That's okay, Peckish. You can respond to stuff. That's okay. Well, Toasty Bros tested a rig that was similar to mine. The only difference is I think I had the 4060 and it had the 4060. Mine was 4070 Super. Well, that's going to be a huge difference, Ghost Poner, for sure. How about cost plus gaming? No, it was Novatech. And STG Auburn, I tested one from them before that, and that was also hilariously bad. I still have a third one I need to test. These are just the cheapest like gaming PCs on Amazon, and you get what you pay for. It's really bad. God, the keyboard they sent with it was like, I just twisted my hands just the slightest. It was just like, yeah, let's bend and possibly break. Yeah. Hey, anyone know of any games I could ask for on Christmas I could fully utilize to take advantage of 9060 XT 16 gig when I get it? Well, Peckish, I mean, let me think about something here. So, hang on a second. I mean, if you're talking about multiple games, Peckish, let's say it's 3 $70 games, like AAA titles. That's more than the cost of a 9600X. Because if you're trying to get games that are going to test your GPU, right after we talked about how your GPU is being held back by a quarter of the PCIe lanes it should have, you might just want to, instead of getting the games, get the CPU that will run the games better. Like, that would be my advice. And I mean, it's a pretty good price. It's only $20 more than a 7600X. But you got your full 16 lanes PCIe. Also, you might want to look at what motherboard it is. I mean, you shouldn't have any limitations. It should always have an X16 slot for the primary PCIe slot. But that would be my recommendation there. Let me see. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. Well, no, I didn't mean to do that. That's not fine. There we go. Well, Costco's offering it on sale at the time, and I think it was like a Costco member exclusive, but I don't know exactly how that works. It was $1,500 at the time. I bought it, saved $100. Nice, Ghost. That's cool. I know I'm meaning something cheap like a single game around $30. I think I already read that, but sure. I can't think of one, but COD Battlezone are free to play. You can crank up graphics on that. Yeah, there are free to play multiplayer games that you can try for sure. FGN says, I know one, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That one is heavily favored towards NVIDIA. So probably not the one I would recommend. That is heavily favored towards NVIDIA. Steve, what's your thoughts on mini PCs, Bray? Not buying, just asking your valued opinion. There are some that are gonna be fun. It really depends on how you're trying to utilize something like that. Of course, there's always that variable, but I think that some of them are pretty cool. And the tech started out rough, and it's gotten better. Some mini PCs are pretty awesome, actually, and accommodate things like if you eventually want to get a GPU, it can dock a GPU, and bam, you have full graphics. I mean, you're going to have the same sort of performance as like a laptop because it'll use laptop hardware. And there are some that use things like you're starting to see some that are coming out with, pretty powerful Ryzen APUs as well. So yeah, but if you're talking about something that's going to be really performant, I like the ROG Nook. ROG Nooks look pretty awesome. If you're looking, that thing has like a mobile 4070 in it, which is pretty awesome. So dedicated GPU, all that. No problem, Steve. Oh, there's some cheap racing game I've never heard of. Well, I don't know. I was thinking of getting one 2025 if it was super cheap, but it seems like a lame racing game I won't have long-term fun in. And then I thought about getting Forza Horizon 5, but FH6 is coming early next year anyways. I mean, are you trying to put together like a sim rig setup? I got a stupid question for you. Do you think there's any difference between the Skytech PCs you get at Walmart and the ones directly through Skytech? Bergie, I've talked about that a whole lot of times. Yes, there's absolutely a difference. This is something that I've ranted about many a time, but I'm always willing to do it again. Walmart is not a charity. Neither is Amazon, neither is Newegg, neither is Best Buy. And Skytech sells on all of those platforms. Those platforms like to make money, and they're able to demand a pretty solid chunk of profit margins. Now, PC building companies still need to make money. So the biggest difference is that when you look at a $1,600 system at Best Buy that's Skytech versus a $1,600 system on Skytech's website, Skytech has to downgrade the components in the Best Buy one in order to make any profit margin. The one on their website, there's no third-party company taking a huge chunk out of that profit margin. So they're able to build a better PC. And it could be very different packaging because you're going to have your Amazons, your Walmarts, your Best Buys, buy them in bulk that get shipped on a pallet. So they're not being shipped individually via a carrier. They're being shipped on pallets via freight. So they don't have to necessarily be packed quite as carefully. But if you order it from Amazon, it's going to be shipped to you like that, taken off that pallet, put into the thing, sent, kicked down the road, and given to you. So there's sometimes more likely, and I'm not saying this is specifically Skytech. This is kind of how it works with third-party sellers in general, especially if they're buying in bulk to sell to large volumes. Anyway, these are all just a bunch of little differences, and like I have demonstrated them in videos. It's like if you have to buy from Amazon, sure. If you have a Best Buy credit card that you buy our tech stuff with and you have the coverage on it, you want to use that, fine. Barring those circumstances, buy directly from the company that's building your PC. That's my 2 cents. And there's logic behind it. It's not a stupid question. It's just one that I've answered a lot, whether people were asking it or not. Sailor X says, I have a Skytech PC. They are awesome. Correct on both counts. You do have one, and they are awesome. Michael L., what's up? Does Skytech have a good reputation? I'm going to pass on the cyber power. Well, you just made the right move. Yeah. The cyber power in our community has a bad reputation from people who have actually bought from them. Same thing with Skytech, except opposite. From people who have bought from them, they have a fantastic reputation. Are there still some issues? Yes. With every single company on that list, there's potential for an issue because it's a computer. That's not really what makes a good company. No company can guarantee your product's going to work forever. That company that might do that is lying to you, especially for things that run electricity through them. The Magic Pixies like chaos, and sometimes things just stop working. But what a company does to respond to that, or, you know, the shipping industry is pretty rough. If it arrives broken, how does a company respond to that? The support that people have gotten from Skytech, they've been much happier with, more consistently. Sure, there's going to be people who are like irredeemably upset. It doesn't matter how good a customer service Skytech is trying to provide. They think if the product isn't perfect out of the box and work forever without having a problem, Skytech has failed. That's not how computers work or how products work in general. And I always get a little upset when I see that. Not on behalf of any one company. I'm just saying, if you buy a thing, part of that is assuming the risk that the thing might have an issue. And you need to buy from companies that will take care of you in that situation. But that issue may not be their fault in any way. Shipping damage, generally not going to be a company's fault unless, say, like the MSI PC that, the Toy Story MSI PC, the Gamers Nexus reviewed. Whoever built that thing and packed it did not fully inflate the Instapack. So the GPU was bouncing around in there. That's their fault. But otherwise, usually, it's not going to be the company's fault that built the PC. They don't bring it to your door. And also, just PCs mess up sometimes. Windows. Oh boy, Windows. You got to hope for good customer service, good tech support. And that's why you go to the Discord, look at our SI testimonials, Michael. If you're really concerned about that, go and look through our, don't just listen to one dude in a room. Listen to your fellow community members who have already purchased from these companies and then have very helpfully taken the time to share in detail their experiences, whether positive or negative. There are some companies that have had like a long string of negative reviews, and someone goes in and puts in a somewhat positive review, and they're like, I hope this is okay. Yeah, it's fine. You're not supposed to be like, yeah, what they said. No, you say what your experience was. I especially want to know if a company's getting better. That's what I hope for. I don't hope that CyberPower shuts down just because they don't seem to care about improving their customer service reputation. Amongst my community members, the only thing I've gotten are fakes that have come in and been like, oh, actually, it's really great. I've never had a problem with my PC. That's not a customer service story, is it? It's just a PC that happened to work. That doesn't tell us anything. Sorry, my camera stopped moving around. It's just, there we go, buddy. And Settled says, my Skytech PC was packed. Great. That's important. And as long as you see that, and I'll tell you something. Settled is even then, I've seen some crazy stuff where a PC can be beat to hell and back, and the packaging's kind of okay. And that's all just because it's a amalgamation of various parts that can get bounced around. And inertia is a hell of a force, I'll tell you. Stop stopping. Keep not stopping. Thank you. I'm talking to my camera gimbal. Man, when I tell you, Windows is as fragile as my actual Windows, and I have some thin Windows. Yeah. Zeno, what's up? I missed some chats. I'm sorry. I'm just playing my controller. I like it. I don't like the wheel. I know I'm weird. I've never had a good sim rig setup. I've always wanted one. I am like a lot of tech people, like a lot of computer nerds. You find that the Venn diagram between a lot of computer nerds and car nerds is damn near just a circle. There's a lot of overlap there. And that's from my experience with meeting a lot of people who are into what I'm into. Anyway, some of us have had some lucky. Had some luck. Mine was CyberPower PC from Costco. Yeah, I knock on wood. I hope that keeps working out for you. Ghost. Retailers want percentage to put product in their stores and do the shipping. And remember too, they do have to pay overhead to have their stores open and pay their people. But I do feel that my viewers at least should buy directly from the system integrator. That's not going to cause a huge disturbance in the industry. But I want my viewers to have the direct experience directly from the manufacturer, from the person building the PC, if it's possible. I think as people don't like being put on hold, no matter how much you improve the services, whether that be going into local services, etc. I don't know. Well, Ghost, the thing is, there is a sort of belief that is a false belief a lot of people have that, and this is because I've worked in customer service, okay? That if a product has an issue, the person who answers the phone deserves all of your rage and fury, and it's their fault. And by yelling at them and getting angry with them, they'll help you faster. And if they don't, they're bad. And you're good, and you can do no wrong. You're entitled to yell at them because there was a problem with your product. You see, I came to the conclusion a long time ago that there are people who are simply incapable of receiving good customer service because they're not looking for it. They don't want that. They want to yell. They want to be in there. They feel entitled to people getting fired because, I don't know, their DoorDash person was late. Okay? Like, these people, and there's a lot of them, are out there. And oh God, during the holidays, it's the worst. It's so much worse. Remember, people, the holidays are coming up, and that's when the people who are out there working hard to get you the stuff you need or want for your holidays to work out, they're putting in extra hours, just absolutely nose to the grindstone. And then customer service. tech support, all those people are going to be there trying to help you if something goes wrong. And y'all got to be nice. You be nice, or you should be damn well ashamed of yourself. Because, like, it's already really stressful to work during the holidays. Be kind to people in stores. Be kind to the person who has to work at the gas station and convenience store that you go to when you have your holiday off. You know, be kind to the person who cut you off in traffic, because you know what? You just need to get home safely. And just speeding after them and yelling and honking is going to go against that primary goal. Be kind first, always. All right? It's a really simple concept that even I have trouble with. So do as I say, not as I do. Because I get angry too. I get upset too. But then I remind myself. I usually will have to, I'll blow up a bit and walk it back and be like, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm very sorry. You didn't do any of this. I'm just upset that this happened. And that's not your fault. And I'd really appreciate it if you help me out. And that, let me tell you, that will make somebody's day. It really can. Listen, praise the wise to the wise. I appreciate that, but I don't know about that. I'm just old. It sometimes sounds similar. I've made so many upgrades to my setup since I started. So, that's awesome. Here I can push my side fans closer together because their design is made for it, and I only just realized I can move them closer together. Cool. Did you pick the parts for the PC in the stream or off stream? Do you pick them for the well, Quake, I can't do yours. Oh, when did you tell me that you resubmitted the form? Wait, now I did a full form. Okay, I missed that. I thought we were done because you weren't ready to make your purchase. Oh, Sweden. Okay, I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I guess I can try. I do it on stream, clearly. Yeah. I just didn't know I was still helping you out. I missed your chat earlier. I didn't think I had anybody on the list right now. I don't know if Michael L left or if they filled out the form. Are they still here? Okay. Michael L, it shows you're still in chat. If you're looking for help with a PC, you can fill out the form that's linked in the description and get yourself on this list, which apparently Quake is back on the list here. So I need to look at this. You're doing a parts list. So you are getting this within a month, right? Okay, PC Part Picker has a Swedish thing, then that makes it easier. Sure. Everything we know that is entirely the truth. Don't lie. Always be rude to the person who picks up the phone. Nope. Maybe just another 990. Wait, what? Hey, when I have spare money, can I come to you for help buying another drive when I get there? An SSD is the only upgrade I've planned. I mean, drives is not too difficult. Basically, you look at what you can afford versus the amount of storage you want. And then, the performance side of it. If it's secondary, you go usually more for capacity if that's what's really needed. Michael L., if you're looking for help with a PC, I will literally help you one-on-one with that. Finding the exact right one for your budget and your needs. But you do need to fill out the form to get on this list that you see here. That's going to be linked in the description of the YouTube stream. Anyone else looking for one-on-one help with PC matchmaking, where you give me your budget, what you're going to use the PC for, and a few other questions. You just fill out that form. If you're on Twitch, it just posted the link in chat right now. There's one help getting the right PC for your budget and needs. Fill out this form. That's the form. Fill that out to get on the list. It is first come, first serve. And for people watching on YouTube, it is the first link in the description. Okay, let's get to this. So, gaming, pro gaming, esports, streaming, content creation, and video editing. This is not something you mentioned before. Quake. So, Tell me about the content creation, video editing side of things. Is it something that you already do? Something that you plan on doing? Is that a high priority for the system? And you don't know the resolution. It's not complicated edits, mostly cutting clips. Okay. You do plan on upgrade. Wait, what is this? Huh? That link makes me a little nervous. I don't know what that is. Well, no, I'm gonna do a PC part picker thing. I don't know if that's just a Swedish one, but there's PCPartPicker.com, and I can just do Sweden. There you go. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, that's fine, and I'm glad that one's popular in Sweden. I don't know it, and it may be in Swedish, so I'm gonna use this one that is in English, but it will have links for purchasing stuff that are relevant to Sweden. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, looking at this, this budget is this budget in US dollars? What currency is used in Sweden? So it's a krona. Is that you did the budget in US dollars? Okay. So I need to see if this does it in krona, then I'm going to have to convert it. Oh, yeah, 100%. Okay. Now, let me ask you, in US dollars, what is the actual maximum budget? Not a range like, $2,600 to $2,700. No, a solid number, like $2,750, $3,000. What's the actual maximum budget for your parts list? $3K? No, okay. What the budget is, whatever you are comfortable spending. You need to give me a number. I don't want to make you spend more than you're comfortable with. If you give me $3,000 for the budget, it's likely the system is going to cost $3,000. Give me the budget you're comfortable with. $2,500. There you go. Now I do know, and I don't usually operate this way. I know if we have to go a little over, we can. But I'm going to aim for this. Does that work for you? Okay. Now, gaming, pro gaming / esports, that can work together just fine. Streaming, not a problem. So far, you could just use something like 9700X, 9800X 3D, something like that. Once you get to content creation / video editing, that's where a more expensive CPU becomes more sensible, although $480 for a CPU is not cheap. Trust me. Now, let's take a look at something here. Can I ask you, and by the way, big thank you for actually being super responsive in chat. That helps a ton. My question to you is, do you know what software you plan on using for video editing? I know you said it's not a huge priority. You're just going to be making simple cuts. I still want it to run well. So when I say video editing, I mean editing videos in video editing software like Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, hell, CapCut, whatever. I think CapCut is that just mobile? Is CapCut just on mobile? I have no idea. I've never used it. Ty says, does anyone know why a PC will not boot certain games? It could be a faulty install. Ty, if it's on Steam, you can right-click on the game and go to, I think, Manage and Verify Files. That's probably what you'd want to do if it's on Steam. I'm using Clipchamp now. CapCut's on all platforms. Neato. Thank you, Pekish. I appreciate that. That's information I didn't have before. Clipchamp, never heard of it, but I'm guessing this isn't going to mean a bunch to you. Okay, so you don't need a $700 CPU. Nice. CapCut is insanely good on desktop. In what context? Like with what hardware? Just any hardware, like a 12400F with no iGPU would work just fine. I used to use CapCut. Okay. Yeah, see, I would normally go here and refer to Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve and say, Core Ultra 285K or 9950X3D. Yeah, if you're just cutting clips for vertical, it's really not that difficult. You're not even working with full 4K footage necessarily, or it's going to be, or at least when it's encoding it, it's encoding at a lower resolution. Even if you are using 4K footage, it's going to render at a lower resolution generally. So 9800X3D, it charts. It's on the chart. Even 9700X. This is for Premiere Pro. This is some of the most demanding video editing software there is, but some of the most powerful. So, yeah, you're not doing anything like that. But if you, Quake, decided that, you know what, I'm going to go beyond just making TikToks, which is this still for. I mean, look at I don't know. I watch Carter PC's YouTube shorts, which are TikToks, moved over to YouTube. Like that's his whole career. So, and hell, DePoets, I watch his stuff a lot. Their whole career is based on short form content. So, not to say that it's not legitimate, but if you wanted to make long form, like landscape style videos, 4K videos, things like that. You do have socket AM5, so you could be potentially upgrading to that with Zen 6 CPUs when those come out. So we can just go with an 8-core, 16-thread CPU for now, whether it's an X3D chip or not. Okay? The reason is I need to see what the pricing is like for GPUs in your area. I don't know just yet. So let's say if we go with $2,500 US, that is 23,495 Swedish krona. Clipchamp is apparently a Microsoft product. Interesting, Berkey. Interesting. You say interesting things. Thank you. In terms of free editing software, it's not hard to run at all. I should probably try CapCut for making shorts because I make them in Premiere Pro and it's really, really good because it auto generates captions too. It does all that stuff. And you can really format them any way you want. But I know CapCut does that too. And a lot of times people don't edit those captions and they are very wrong. And it bothers me a lot. Tech Blacksmith, what's up? Welcome. How you doing? What's going on with you? I do a lot of shorts, but it does not pay as much. Some I'm slowly trying to revert to long form. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I feel like I'm dragging this information out of you that's slowly changing the build. Now, there's a very important question here, Quake, that is sort of influencing this build very dramatically here, okay? And that's this one here, where the question is, do you plan on upgrading your CPU over time? And your answer to that was yes. Now that unfortunately means that we can't, for video editing, multi-use systems, gaming, streaming, video editing. My favorite deal on a CPU right now is the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. I mean, it literally matches the 9950X3D in performance in Premiere Pro for 1/3 of the price. It's cheaper than the 9800X3D. In many cases, it's cheaper than the 9700X. And it is way up here on the list in terms of Premiere Pro performance. But unfortunately, Intel, in their vast wisdom, they decided to not even give LGA 1851 2 generations like they normally do. It's only getting 1 generation and a refresh. So you're not going to have many upgrade options for that down the line. So we can't go with, I mean, look at the price difference just to give you an idea. In your area, okay, over there, in your market, The 9800X3D is 5,149 krona. The 265K is 2,990 for a 20-core CPU that rips through video editing. Oh, snap. All right, hold up. Because Hack Smarter's rating with a party of 13. Let's go, nerds. What is up, Hack Smarter? Welcome, Raiders. How the heck you doing? Is that what I meant to do? I meant to press this. There we go. What is going on, Hack Smarter? How you doing? Let me give you a little shouty here. Here we go. Everybody drop a follow for Hack Smarter. And I'm still of the mind that you should hack smarter and harder. I don't, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not both? But what's up, Jesse F. Moore? How you doing? Jay Soberbeck, how you doing? Silent Evie, welcome. I'm actually about to put up some Pokemon stuff up on this wall. I'm gonna move that live sign over here to put some Pokemon shelves up here. I got back into Pokemon in a big way. Recently, preparing for ZA. Really excited, Evie. John Doe, what's up? Welcome. Port Zero Cyber, welcome. DJ Simple Green, how you doing, bud? Welcome. Doing good now. Happy to hear it. Let me say, I don't want the build to limit me too much. That there is option for me to do other stuff if I want to without having to upgrade right away. Also, I prefer Ryzen if it's okay. See, those two things go against each other. Unfortunately, any X3D chips are going to lean heavily towards gaming. However, full credit to AMD. When they went with 9000 series, they changed it up. The 3D V-Cache is now under the core complex die, meaning, oh, it's not stupid thermally anymore. That's cool. Now you have higher frequencies and better power draw, better temps. And it works better. You can actually overclock the thing now, which is really nice. But that makes it better for things like, you know, your Photoshop, your video editing software. It's not great for that still, but it can do it. But it's not as bad as it used to be. Because if you're making content, you're going to be editing photos as well to do thumbnails. And if you're looking at something like Photoshop, 8-core CPUs tend to do really well. 9800X3D is nearly, I mean, these are all pretty closely scored. It's just when you get to Intel that it dips down. AMD CPUs are heavily favored in Photoshop. I'm not showing the screen. I'm just talking. I meant to show the screen. That's the screen right there. There you go. By the way, Hack Smarter, thank you for, again, trusting me with your community. If you're wanting to take a screen break, do anything like that because of, you just finished streaming, I absolutely understand. Otherwise, feel free to hang out and chill out as I yell and scream about PC hardware like I do. Doing well, putting together a PC for a customer delivery tomorrow. Awesome Tech Blacksmith. Very cool. What I want to know, looking at the blacksmith side of your name, something I used to do a little bit of myself, actually. Have you hammered out any cases of your own out of, bring out the old anvil, the old hammer, and forge a case? I'd love to see that, like an open air PC case. That'd be super sick. Anyway, I can say I play a lot of old school RuneScape, Roblox, Fortnite, Lea, L-E-A. Is that like League and League of Legends? Okay. And I do like Black Ops Zombies, but my PC can't handle it. Okay. So there's one part of the forum we need to address that you didn't answer, and that is resolution. So in the options that you get on the forum, it actually explains what each one is. Okay. As it states, 1080p is the easiest to run, typical for budget-oriented systems and esports. Most esports, pro gamers, e-athletes, whatever, most of them are running 1080p low settings because frames win games. And winning games pays the bills. 1440p is an excellent balance of visual fidelity and high frame rates. It's between 1080p and 4K. in terms of how hard it is to run, but how nice it looks and how many frames per second you can get. 4K is has the most expensive standard monitors, best for AAA gaming and content creation, but it typically means a more expensive PC and more expensive monitor. Ultra wide is closer to 4K than anything else. So where in this do you think you're going to land? Felt forms requested. Michael, thank you very much. Next would be holding off till your turn comes up, as I'm currently helping out Quake QGG right now. But yeah, I'll be happy to help you out soon enough. Will you be doing a Black Friday SI video this year? Dylan, I am going to be doing a very special Black Friday video this year, like I did last year. Think of it that way. Because here's the thing, I can show y'all a bunch of options here and there. There's a deal here. I don't necessarily have a bunch of companies reporting to me like I kind of used to. So instead, I try to put together a deal of my own. And I sign off on it, put my name on it, all that. And I might just be working on something like that this year too, like I did last year. And last year, it went off like crazy. People loved it. So keep an eye out. Currently grinding out defenders on OSRS. I don't know what that is, Mikey, and I'm very sorry for not knowing what that is. I like high FPS, I can say, but games like Zombies and Black Ops is cool with resolution, but I won't play it that much. Well, there's also the content creation side of things. If you're wanting to get back to high quality, long form content, the funny thing is you don't have to get a 4K gaming PC to make 4K content, right? You could totally get yourself a 1440p gaming monitor for your gaming stuff or 1080p and have a 4K regular monitor, 60 hertz for doing content creation. In fact, a lot of higher end content creation based monitors, like studio monitors, like studio style or reference monitors, that's the word actually. Studio monitors usually refers to speakers, but reference monitors are 60 hertz because it's not for gaming. It's for color accuracy. It's for looking for errors and problems in your video. Wait, do I need a 4K monitor to make 4K content? No, but it sure helps. I mean, how are you going to know if it looks good in 4K if you can't view it in 4K? You would love the game, Bray. You got to try it one day. I don't know what it is. OSRS? What is that? But like I'm saying, Quake, you don't need to buy a 4K gaming monitor. You can get just a 4K computer monitor. That is 60 hertz. Those are way cheaper. Oh, old school RuneScape. I mean, I've played RuneScape before. I do know what that's like. I do go back quite a bit. It's not something I got into that much back then. OSRS now makes a whole lot of sense. Old school RuneScape. Got it. Looking forward to it. Appreciate it. Always come to your videos for my PC help, Dylan. I appreciate that. And remember, if you're looking for specific help one-on-one, I can always help out with that on the streams. It's so much better now, man. A lifetime worth of content. That sounds exhausting, honestly. Well, yeah, of course, high FPS. Okay. All right. Well, you know your options. What I need you to do, Quake, is I need you to pick one. I can't necessarily make this decision for you. I've made my recommendations. And if you pick an option, I'll be able to better suggest a GPU that's right for your system. Can I buy 2 screens? You can buy 100 screens. They won't all run. You can run 4 usually at max, unless you're using onboard graphics. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently using 3 just here, and one of them is a 55-inch TV. Yeah. Danny, what's going on? What's up, Braythorn? Any new builds coming up? Yes, actually, one next month, but I might not be here for it. Ooh. I got 2 trips coming up. One this month, one next month. And yeah, I'm already tired, but it's going to be great. Yeah, now Quake, I won't include the monitors in the build. This is just so I know what GPU to recommend. So we'll go for 1440p for gaming or 1080p for gaming. Sure. Whatever. The monitors you buy are your business. I just need to know what you're planning on getting so that I know how to build the PC. So, okay. So Fortnite. Let me look at the games real quick again. Old school RuneScape, Roblox, Fortnite, League, and Black Ops Zombies. I don't know that I can necessarily justify it because, man, I got to say, 5149, what is that? Yo, a 9800X 3D is $550 in Sweden? What the hell? Yo, that's almost $100 more. Man, I can't justify that. That's crazy. Okay, hold up. I mean, it's not crazy, I guess, but wow. What is a... I mean, that's more reasonable. What about a 9700X? Yeah, 319. That's a little more reasonable. I mean, look. These are the prices that I'm used to. $476 for 9800X 3D, 9700X. That's actually about the same. It's actually a little cheaper to get a 9700X over there than it is over here. Yeah. Anyway, for right now, I'm going to do 9700X. This is not going to necessarily, I mean, it depends. If you're gaming at 1080p, then yeah, X3D is going to be great, but I can't justify, I don't know if I can justify more than a fifth of your budget on just that. We got a whole PC to build. I mean, I guess I'll try 9800X 3D, and if it doesn't work, we're going to have to downgrade the CPU. That's a crazy price. Good Lord. Now, for the motherboard, we need a really solid motherboard with a lot of I/O. Eric Draven 66. Holy crap. How you doing? How you been? Welcome. We're doing a black build. Okay. So I'm going to recommend, if they have it, let's see if they've got it. They do. How much is it? Let's see. Hell yeah, 250 is not bad. Look at this thing right here. This is my favorite motherboard for X670E. It's kind of still my favorite AM5 motherboard. 250, and this is the I/O. Now, why is this important? Well, because of this streaming. Okay, if you're going to be streaming, I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen very likely. It happens to pretty much everybody who I know who streams. You're going to run out of USB ports. And there's a lot of devices, particularly Elgato ones, that don't like to run off of hubs and stuff, okay? They just like direct connection to the motherboard or something like, if you need to, something like this. That's a PCIe add-in card that adds more USB ports. But even then, it's better to just have a solid I/O setup on your motherboard here, okay? Yeah, and this is really solid. I wish it had more USB-C, but for the price, really. These USB 2.0s here, you hook up things like your mouse, keyboard, headset, things like that. And then the blue ones here would be something like a high-end webcam, or certain capture cards would use USB 3.0. Those other ones will prefer 10 gigabit per second, like on these right here. You also have a 20 gigabit per second USB Type-C. I'm using this motherboard right now in my streaming machine, okay? Just to give you an idea. Can it upgrade to a 9950X 3D in the future? Yes, but you don't do that, Quake. Yeah, don't do that. Do not upgrade to a 9950X 3D if you're getting a 9800X 3D. You don't upgrade in the same generation. You upgrade in the next generation at the soonest. Like, I'm talking about what is it? Zen 6, whatever that's supposed to be the same socket. You don't buy a $550 CPU so that in a year you can buy a $750 CPU in the same generation. It's not going to give you much benefit. I thought the 9950X3D is good for multitasking. Multitasking is RAM. You need a lot of RAM if you want to do a lot of things at once. Your CPU can help with that, yes. Okay, but it's not what you're thinking. All right, Alucard, have a good one. If you want a 9950X3D, you can get it. But remember one thing, and I mentioned this before. The most important thing you need to know about the 9950X3D is if you're trying to multitask while you have a game running, you don't have a 9950X3D. You have a 9800X3D because half of your CPU cores done shut down. It's called core parking. Okay? And it's a major flaw of 12 or 16 core X3D chips. It is a major flaw of those chips. And of course, now with 9000 series Ryzen non-X3D ones as well, that has 2 CCDs. Here's the thing though. What the leaks are saying about Zen 6, the next generation that we're probably going to be seeing next year, okay, is that not only are they going to potentially be putting 3D V-Cache on both chiplets now, not just one, but also they may be getting rid of the chiplet-to-chiplet latency, so much so to where it's almost non-existent, and they may be going up to 12 cores per CCD instead of 8 maximum. So yeah, you don't just, if you're going to get a 9800X3D now or a 9700X, whatever, don't upgrade to the same generation, but another CPU, unless you don't have a choice. I'm alive. I'm happy to hear that, Eric. Does Newegg still garbage? Do they garbage? I think they still garbage. No, from what I understand, Newegg is better, but it's probably because they got in trouble, not because they want to be better. As soon as they feel like the public scrutiny is not on them anymore, they'll go back to their old ways. That was pretty clear in that meeting they had with Gamers Nexus. They weren't sorry. They were sorry they got caught. You can't choose if you want a core park. You cannot. If you try to not use core parking, you're going to have a bad time and you're going to experience instability because there's a reason they do core parking. It is chiplet to chiplet latency. You're going to have worse performance if you try to get in the way of core parking. They just opened a Newegg Gamer Zone down the street from me. What is that, Eric? Zintech, I have my eyes on the PowerSpec G911 gaming PC at Micro Center with exactly what I want to do with my PC. I can hardly even game anyways. Okay, Zintech. Oh, so that one does not help me when I'm streaming like I thought. No, if you have a game running, no, it does not help you. Quake, I game and stream on this system whenever I do my gaming streams, like on Sundays, although now Sundays are more PC matchmaking. It has a 9800X3D, okay? 8 cores, 16 threads is more than enough for gaming and streaming. If you're talking about, I thought you were talking about video editing. And if you're talking about video editing, then yeah, the 9950X3D can help you there if you're running Premiere Pro. But you're not. Not yet. You just saved me like $250. Yeah, I know. I told you this stuff earlier, by the way. So it took me an extra, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, but I'm glad that that we got there. I'm glad we got you there. Sometimes I wish people would just be like, you know what? You don't need to explain it to me. Okay, bald internet man, I'll listen to you. But no, it's your money. You deserve the explanation as to why I'm yelling about this or that. More investment in your motherboard, more investment in RAM and good storage, all that stuff. Hey, just overclocked my RAM from 6,000 megahertz to 6,200. What apps can I use to test it? CPU-Z has RAM testing, right? I believe. I heard it, but I thought you could choose. No, it just does that. Nobody would use it if it was a choice. Dylan says, I'm looking to get a new PC around this Black Friday. Usually play games like Last of Us 2, Red Dead 2, Battlefield, Hunt Showdown. Really looking forward to GTA 6 next year. Dylan, it's not coming to PC next year. Rockstar made that very clear. There's an ad in progress on Twitch, so I'll tell you this. If you remember, GTA 5 went for years console only. That's pretty much what they plan to do with GTA 6. You know why? Because, and they're right about this, PC gamers are cheap. We don't like paying full price for games. We wait for Steam sales. They want their $100 or whatever it's going to cost, which they're investing like, I don't know, billions into the game. I guess it should be worth it. But yeah, it's going to be console only for a couple of years after launch. And launch was delayed by a year. So you're not going to be playing that on PC. I'm looking forward to it too, but I'm going to have to buy a PlayStation if I want to play it. And I'm going to be locked at 30 FPS. Good job, Rockstar. Way to spend all that time optimizing. You losers. It's also not a straight port to PC. They're going to support mods and all that stuff too on PC. I mean, I would hope so. I like the fact that Rockstar, they're not losers. I'm just angry, okay? I don't mean that, Rockstar. And I know you're watching. But the way that they support the mod community and like and things like what is it, 5M and all that, very cool. Can that motherboard you choose upgrade to next gen CPU? It's socket AM5. Yes, I already answered that. Yes, it can. Yes, it'll be able to support Zen. According to AMD, Zen 6 should be socket AM5. This is an awesome motherboard. It can take up to 4 M.2 drives. There's no bifurcation. You can put like crazy internal capture cards on this. I have it very well set up in this system. It works awesome with 2 capture cards in it. Has a ton of I/O, and it's not expensive. And it looked good in either a black or a white build. It is really the perfect motherboard for AM5. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. My brother told me a game I could play could be Skyrim with 1,000 mods. Yeah, I guess so. Skytech, the OS system was corrupt. At Braethorn, ACA builds. Have you talked to Skytech? I have noticed that there are times where I recommend a PC to someone, and like any PC can, it might have an issue or something, and they come and talk to me and they haven't talked to the SI yet. You immediately call the system integrator. You're guaranteed a working system. That's what warranties are. You talk directly to the SI, and usually if it's in the first 30 days, if they need to bring it back to them to fix everything, they'll pay shipping back and forth. Is the 870E motherboard better? The features in X870E are also featured here, the ones that you would be looking for, like PCIe Gen 5 storage, PCIe Gen 5 X16 slots, things like that. The only thing you're missing is USB 4. Okay? Aside from that, it's not really much better. And as a matter of fact, for some reason, USB ports are nerfed heavily. I'm going to show you something real quick, okay? I'm going to show you the X870E gaming, or let me see. X870. This is the X870E Gaming Plus, no, there we go. Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. Okay, I got to look it up on their site because pictures? What do you mean pictures? What are pictures? Nerfed. Like crazy. Why? Why? Do I need USB 4? Do you need USB 4? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, do you? You tell me. What is the difference? It's 40 gigabit per second. These are 20. This is 40. That's 20. Dream, sure. I will hydrate. I've got this orange lemongrass peach tea, and it is amazing. And I got the jellies. It's really good. Mike, I know my computer is only 4 years old, but I'm looking for something in a few years. Any good custom build companies out there? There's plenty, Eric. If you're looking for something in a few years, though, unfortunately, I can't tell you which of those companies is still going to be around after the horrible year that was 2025. So come back to me whenever you're ready. I'll let you know who's out there and what a good option for you would be. Yeah, they inspected the PC, said the OS system was corrupt. ACA, well, it sounds like they're taking care of you. That's good to hear. Remember, any PC can have a problem. It's how the PC company handles that matters. Yeah, also, this is more expensive, by the way. 3192. Let's see. Of course it would be. It's the more recent thing. Let's see. Yo, I got 41 people in here. Holy crap. That's more than I have had in a little bit. That's pretty great. Thank you guys for hanging out. 3192. That is literally $100 more for this motherboard. And it has worse IO. It's really annoying. And that's not even the whole story. Let's look at bifurcation. Specifications. Let's see. Is there might not be any. That'd be great. Okay, that's about the same. It has one okay. What? 3 M.2, then one M.2.1 slot? Oh, no, it's just saying M.2.1. So it has one fewer M.2 slot. You have less storage that you can put in there. It's so dumb. I hate this generation of motherboards for AMD. It's been worse across the board. Intel, way better in this generation, honestly. Honestly. What things will it help? Well, does it help mouse speed? You don't need 40 gigabit per second for a mouse. You can run your mouse on just a USB 2.0 port. You don't need really, no. I mean, 8,000 hertz polling rate or whatever. It doesn't matter. It'll work in a USB 2.0 port. Bergie5, you can't post links in chat. Sorry, is to protect my other viewers. Okay, back to business here. I'm going to try to get your build done now. Okay, I know you have a ton of questions, and it seems like you're going to have questions at every single step of the way, and that's totally fine. But I need to get your build done because there are other people waiting, and I'll try to answer things as I go. Okay. Throw some DDR5 6000. Let's try to go 64 gigs if we can. Okay, for the future full length video editing, 4K, all that stuff. Seal 30, and we go 2x32. What did you say about RGB? You don't want RGB. Okay. There we go. G-Circle Flurex. There we go. 2913. That's $300 for that kit? Hold up. Out of curiosity. Yeah, it's like $60 more than here. Okay. Well, we're probably going to get closer to that $3,000 budget, just letting you know. Just based on the fact that I didn't know things were that expensive over there. I'm going to do what I can, but if 50C on RAM a bad temp, not really. I mean, it depends on the RAM model, I guess. It should have, if you're looking at like Hardware Info 64, it'll tell you what the thermal throttling temperature is. Richard Nicholson, welcome. Blueberry Budget, Pepe, how's it going? Welcome. I didn't see an optical out. On what? On this? Most people don't use an optical out. SPDIF, as you might call it. But I believe this one, the previous one, does have it. I mean, if you do use it, sure, that's great. But yeah, most people don't. Yeah, I know. I do have a PS5, so I'll be playing it on there. Oh, okay. You can see why, Dylan, I felt the need to tell you that, because it sounded like I can't wait to play GTA 6 on a PC next year when it'll totally be coming to PC. On the IO you were showing. Got you. Yeah, optical out is somewhat deprecated at this point. Not really as much in use. You do? That's awesome. You could do a sound card. If you need to get a system and the motherboard is otherwise perfect but doesn't have optical out, you can grab a sound card with SPDIF. SPDIF if you need me to say it that way. Dare D, what's up? Got my PC booted and posting. What's a good test to check stability? Thanks in advance. I love the sentence, thanks in advance. Where it's like, hey, you're going to answer this. Thanks in advance. Just so you know, it never comes off the way you think it does. I mean, it can, I guess. Testability. Just run Cinebench, the 30-minute test. You got to go to File, Advanced Benchmark, and run the 30-minute test. OCCT has it. Just Prime 95 has a stability test. There's a bunch of them. They're all free, as far as I know. So, storage. We don't want to go anything lower than 2 terabytes for starters. Is not 48 gigs of RAM good? Quake, as I was choosing the RAM, I told you to plan out for you said you wanted to work towards doing long form, like high quality video content. That's when I recommend 64 gigs of RAM. I said that while I was choosing the RAM. Please try to pay attention to that stuff so that you don't have to stop me and say, hey, well, hold up. It's because of that. 64 gigs of RAM is where I recommend you go for that. That's my 2 cents there. Okay. 48 gigs of RAM is fine, but it's also less RAM than 64 gigs. So when it comes to video editing, capacity is king. And you seem very, very concerned about multitasking. That is RAM, your memory. System memory is where multitasking happens. So you need to make sure you have enough of it. It's better to have too much than not enough. Okay, let's see. 2 terabytes minimum. Bam. Go there. Do that. I don't know if I want to do, because let me look at the, let's see. I'm going to look at the 9100 Pro and it says 2568. I'm going to compare that to US pricing. I got to figure out somehow whether it's worth it to get the PCIe Gen 5. 2568. That is $273. And here in the US, that is $199. That is nearly $75 more. Like, it's like 40%, 45% more expensive over there. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. All right. What about like an SN850X? Let's take a look. So here it's showing SN850X is $150 for 2 terabytes, right? That's actually not bad, I guess. It's a very fast drive, well-known drive. Should be good. $1,709 comes out to $181, much closer to the US price. Let's go with that. It's just, it looks like PCIe Gen 5 storage is inflated over there. Wasn't a real link. Oh, okay. Well, if it looks like one, then the auto mod's going to catch it. Bergie, sorry. Creative does have good sound cards.
I get better sound than through USB on my high-end speakers, strangely enough. I see. I just run everything through Rode. On this system, I have the Rodecaster Pro Duo, and I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 on my other PC, and I just run all my sound through that, and it's freaking awesome. So that is way overkill for the average person, though, and the content creator. So I mean, I use XLR microphones and my high impedance headphones and all of that for reference and all that. Yeah. A lot of info to take in as a noob, sorry, but no need to apologize, Quake. Okay, so we're going PCIe Gen 4 for your primary storage. I'd like to go Gen 5, but like I got to cut off certain things here and there. Like we are so far at 1291 before a GPU. I'm like scared to look at GPU prices. But I'm probably going to recommend, because we're doing content creation as well, I'm probably going to recommend a 5070 Ti, but we're going to see what the 5080s cost too. Because of the dual encoders, I don't think it's really necessary though. Let's do 5070 Ti first. I want to see how much that comes out to. Is this not working? Okay. 8929. Sounds like a lot. 950? Like $950 US. What the? Come on, man. I'm just trying to succeed here. I'm trying to help you succeed. Quake, why did you make your GPU so expensive on purpose? Why did you do that specifically? You, as a person, why did you do that? I'm kidding. Obviously, you didn't do that. JJ Blinks, what's up? Obviously, the question, how much better is a 9950X3D compared to the 9800X3D? It's not, if you're just gaming. It's just minusculely better. I mean, better, what do you mean better? JJ Blinks. In what way? If you're editing video, it is miles better because it's 16 cores and not 8. But once you turn on a game, they're identical because half of the cores turn off on the 9950X3D. I wonder where AMD screwed up. What do I mean by that? Why is it that so many people don't know this about the 9950X3D? And I'm not saying that you should be expected to. It should be common knowledge. I think AMD failed, not you guys, by not knowing that stuff. I don't think you failed at all. I think somewhere along the way, AMD really did not communicate how this thing works very well at all. Just gaming? Okay, JJ, they're the same CPU. You're wasting $200 if you get a 9950X3D. Because when you turn on a game, those 8 extra cores turn off. So it is essentially a 9800X3D, but with extra money added. That's it. But really, AMD failed completely to educate their own customers on it, to really make it obvious, because you have to do that. Honestly, otherwise they should have a bunch of very upset customers. Because most people ask that question. Most people who come in looking at these things don't really get core parking. And that is a failure on AMD's part. Okay. What am I going to do here? This is really expensive. And to be clear, I think the 5070 Ti is the GOAT of 50 series. The 5090 can take a freaking walk, all right? It is useful to 5% of buyers. That's it. It's not worth it for anybody else. They might as well just buy two 5080s instead because it's the same price, okay? The 5080, not a whole lot better than the 5070 Ti, unless you need dual encoders. It's the same amount of VRAM and barely double-digit performance increase in most games. I mean, it's barely breaking 10 or 11% increase for like, I don't know, 33% more money. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. The 5070 Ti is punching above its weight class, but if you're paying $950 for it, it's costing about how much a 5080 should cost. So like, what do I do? How does that change my perception? This is a content creation and streaming machine. And yeah, NVIDIA still wins in content creation. Like, hands down. Is AMD getting better than it used to be? It's way better than it used to be. Is it as good as NVIDIA? No, it's not. To be fair, Quake, people can buy a $3,500 5090 here as well. It's just nobody really does. Unless it's for a YouTube video or something, and those are usually sent by the company. Hey, please convince people to buy these. They're not doing it. Oh, that's what core parking is. Got it. Yeah, Richard, that's what it is. You turn on a game and it turns off one of those two CCDs, the one that doesn't have 3DV cache, so that they don't get confused. It's like AMD. Just work with Microsoft for better scheduling. Or what they're going to do potentially with Zen 6, just put 3DV cache on both and minimize chiplet to chiplet latency. That's going to be great. I own 7800 XT. Should I wait one more year or two for an upgrade? Martin, if your stuff is still running, that is all that matters. You should not upgrade just because new stuff comes out. Just like people who have, I don't know, you got a 2022 Tacoma, just because they're going to make a 2025 one, that doesn't mean you have to buy it. If it's still running and doing what you need, then you're good. Once it can't run games anymore that you're trying to run, or if you're like, I want to buy a 4K high refresh rate monitor, I need a higher end GPU, then yeah, then you upgrade. But it's not up to anybody but you. And if you look at benchmarks and you're like, but these are so much higher than mine, it doesn't matter. People all across those charts are still having a good time. There's still people in the Steam hardware survey running 1660 supers, and your GPU runs circles around those, but they're perfectly happy. They're doing just fine. So remember that the only benchmark that matters is enjoyment. That's it. You having a good time? Keep your money in your wallet. Anyway, back to business here. Oh man, y'all are all about questions that are going to completely derail me. Can I finish this build, please? I know you're curious, and I encourage curiosity. Give me a bit. Like, I keep getting derailed here with questions, and that's awesome, and that's cool. And y'all are the best. But like, I'm telling myself, dude, lock in. Finish this build. We're going to pick a 5070 Ti right now. I don't know where else to take this. It's still the most balanced GPU out of 50 series right now. But like, damn. That puts us at where? 2241. Okay. We might still be on track here. Okay, Quake, let's talk about cases. All right? You want no RGB? I think I got you. There are certain cases that'll work with that. Do you want something like the Fractal North or North XL that has a little bit of wood grain? I actually think if you like that look, I would say the Landcool 217. Check this thing. Oh, it's out of stock. God, of course it is. Of course it is. It's also 1,400 krona. Okay. That's actually not bad compared to the Y70 Touch Infinite at nearly 5,000. Damn. Damn, son. All right. Why did the one I was looking for and recommending have to be out of stock? I really like the 217 for your build. Smoke, what's up? How's it going? Ameridan, how you doing? The Corsair Frame 4000D RS Airflow Savart. Good. It's like $100. All right. That simplified things for me. Thanks. You got it. Corsair Frame 4000D. There we go. That's the RGB one. We're looking for the non-RGB, right? There we go. Svart is black. Thank you. Okay. I did not know that. I don't think that should be a surprise. But I got to check how many fans this comes with. This comes with 0 fans. No wonder it is well priced, I should say. Is it well priced though with 0 fans? That's not great. I don't care if it is RGB as long as it is not more expensive. You do care if it's not RGB because you selected no, you don't want RGB. That's what I was going on. So I was looking for an all black PC. So yeah. But you're going to need fans for this. So that makes it more expensive than a case that has fans for a similar price. Like this one has fans included, and it's less money. You can just not run the RGB. There you go. There's one with 3 fans for $100 on the website I linked. I'm good. I mean, I'm using this website. This has a ton of cases. Or like $1,250? $1,250? What? There's a Lancool 207. You can run that. Comes with fans. But I like the Montech XR. I think this one would be good. This is cheaper than the Frame 4000D. Look, I'm going to let you pick whatever case you want. I'm putting this one on there. This is my recommendation. Just don't run the RGB if you don't like RGB. Hell yeah. No, hold on. Where's this? Yeah, Century 2 Gold ATX 3.1, 1050 watt A rating, 170. I gotta say, and Mikey, you should take a look at this thing here. The Montech Century is a unique looking PSU with very, very positive ratings for the 850 and the 1050 watt. A minus for the 850 and A rating for the 1050 watt. 12V 2x6, all that good stuff. Montech just killing it in all regards. Like, they're really doing well. So for future upgradability, because I know you mentioned that, well, this is 170 in Sweden. It's much cheaper here. Just look up Montech Century 2. Does that one include fans? Yes, it does include fans. Yes. Simple Green, wasn't the Fractal Torrent on the top of the charts for airflow? About $200. Yes, that is literally $120 more than this case, DJ Simple Green. It's also, it can be quite loud. I'm going to be honest. Well, I mean, it really depends on how you set your fan curves, because you do have 180 millimeter fans in there, which can run fairly low RPM and move a decent amount of air. But also, you can't run those fans if you want to use an AIO, which is unfortunate because that's what we're putting in this system. And look at that, non-RGB. Having to convert every one of these so I have an understanding. 104, okay, it's more expensive than here, but that's kind of par for the course here. There's a full system, and what did our total come out to? Let's see. 2603. Those are cheap, good warranty too. Yeah. Like I'm saying, dude, you need to have a person at Montech. I'm telling you, man, their cases are from what, like I've only built in the King 95 Pro. Well, actually, no. I also built in the XR. That was a little harder to build in terms of cable management, but the King 95 Pro, a joy to build in. Absolute breeze to build in. And well priced, coming with, 6 fans and all that glass. It's really, really nice. And their power supplies are awesome. You nailed it with the price. I got pretty, yeah. Even with things being overpriced, it's not bad. So here's the plan. Quake. Windows, you can get an OEM key for $20. That's not a problem. I'll give you a link too. And a code to use for it. It's a YouTube sponsor of mine. Okay. Here's the plan. All right. You're just right now, you're focused on gaming and streaming. Awesome. This is everything you need to get started. 100%. And then some. It's more RAM than you need right now. Cool. You're starting out with 2 terabytes of storage, which for gaming and streaming, totally fine. And you're doing some still fairly basic video editing with a plan on getting more into higher quality videos, full 4K, all that. So when you're getting to that point, you can then add more storage, which is one of the easiest upgrades to make. You're already building the thing yourself. You know how to add storage, okay? And you can upgrade to which should be available at that point, a Zen 6, like a Ryzen 9 CPU. So whatever their highest end CPU is, it's probably going to rip through video editing software if it has 24 cores, 48 threads, all that good stuff. They should have X3D variants that, if the leaks are true, which also if the leaks are true, that's the 24 core, by the way. If it's not, it'll still be 16 core, but it'll still be an upgrade in performance. According to AMD, it's going to be socket AM5, so we'll work with this motherboard. So at that point, when you're ready to really get serious about video editing, this system is just 2 upgrades away from doing that. Additional storage, which you might not need at first, but you will eventually need, and more cores in your CPU. You take this CPU out of this one, put it into a home theater gaming system or something like that, or sell it used. People are still buying 7800X3Ds, and the 9800X3D will maintain some value for quite a while. Okay? Can I get an extended, so you want more storage? I mean, sure. It's not in the budget, though. Like, I didn't want to go too much over budget. DT, you need to tell me what platform that's for. What platform is that for? That RAM you're talking about. Intel or AMD? And Blueberry Budget Pepe, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I'll be using their AIOs in a few upcoming builds. Yeah, their AIOs are apparently very good too. So yeah. AMD, stick with the DDR5 CL30, DDR5 6000 CL30. Stick with that. That is what AMD recommends, and I'm not smarter than an AMD engineer. No, I mean one of the USB you plug in the PC to upload stuff to. Like if I buy it in the future. Sure? Yes. Quake, you can buy USB accessories. Yes. You can do that. Okay. One thing to keep in mind, you will need to update the BIOS on this motherboard for it to work with that CPU. But it does have the BIOS flashback button on the rear IO to where you can do that without a CPU and without RAM. Okay? Just watch a video online. It'll walk you through the process. External hard drive, pretty much, yes. I mean, you could do that with a Chromebook if you wanted to. So of course you can do it with this strong PC. What's up, Org Chaos? How's it going? Oh, I'm gonna send you the link. Yeah, I'm saving it right now. What's up, Will? How's it going? Just give me a second. And that code should get it down to, let me see, like 22 bucks for Windows 11 Home. Here's the thing, Quake. If you're going to buy the Windows 11 Home key, you need to install Windows 11 Home, not Pro. You can't upgrade it using a code, okay? You get the matching OEM license to match the operating system that you install. You just answered a question I had for a new build I'm contemplating. Nice, Blueberry. Glad to hear it. Did someone said, what about Windows? Who pays full price for Windows? Most people don't at this point. Christopher Crawford says, hello, Mikey, sick PCs. Yes, I know he can't see this. There you go, Mike. Try your own link, please. It goes to the page, and the PC part picker list goes to the PC part picker list. Why? Or chaos. Works for me. Is it not working for you? It's working for, I can literally buy right now. I can literally add it to cart and buy it right now, or chaos. I'm not crazy. If you're seeing something that I'm not seeing, you got to tell me that instead of saying, "Hey, maybe try the link that you tested before posting in chat." Obviously, I wouldn't put a broken link in there intentionally. I know it's working. Striker NL says link works fine. There you go. Tomorrow morning is a big day of me finally getting a PC. Hell yeah, Will. That's awesome. Okay, the link takes you right to the Windows 11 homepage. The page for Windows 11 Home. It doesn't go to their main page. I don't know what you're seeing, but I can actually scroll down and click on Windows 11 Pro, Windows 10 Enterprise, all that. It's all right there. Try clearing your cache and then trying it again. Now that Break25, I just want to make sure you guys know that's not an affiliate link. But yeah, let me show you here. This is what it takes me to. Buy now, add to cart. There's different versions of Windows there. It works. It works perfectly. Yeah, the site is useless to me for some reason. Yeah, I guess so. No, Quake. No. That's not how that works. You need to download Windows from Microsoft. Just look up on YouTube how to set up Windows, how to install Windows 11. It'll walk you through the process. The link is to buy a license for Windows, not to download and install it. Yeah. You need to get the Windows Media Creation tool from Microsoft. Yeah. But Quake Egg, you're very welcome. And now I can, I'm sorry, didn't mean to show that, but that was just me looking through, trying to find the name of Novatech. Let me put the link to the PC part picker list here. Bam. There. Okay. Done. Now, it looks like this person, Marshifer, filled out the form twice. I don't know why they did that. I wish people wouldn't do that because I mean, this is fine. If you like click on the thing in more than a month and like is a mistake, that's different. But this doesn't look like that's what happened. But what's the deal here? Marshifer, are you still here? And why did you fill out the form twice? Chris Crawford, and who was it said it earlier? It was Chris Crawford also. Just so you know, I think that's a membership thing. Like if you get a membership, I don't think you see ads. And that's like I think it's $3.99, $2.99, something like that. Or you can also get YouTube Premium. But otherwise, ads do help me a little bit and help make it possible for. It's not a lot, but it helps make it possible for me to do these streams. However, if you guys are seeing like, okay, now showing ad 1 of 16 and it's going to take like 20 minutes to get through them, you got to let me know. But if you're just seeing an ad every hour or so, then that's just par for the course. Oh, 5 in the morning there. Jeez, Quake. All right. Hey, feel free to stop by anytime, although I usually stream around this time. Sorry about that. Okay. Marshifer, not here. Asteri, how's it going? What are ads? Yeah. Now, I'm sure you're not telling me, Asteri, that you have an ad blocker. But no, you have Twitch Turbo, so you don't see any ads. I don't know what that means for streamers that you watch. I don't know if it's something similar, but hey, yeah. Yeah, I've had YouTube Premium since it was YouTube Red. And I have never looked back. It's my main form of entertainment, and I don't like ads either, you know. But yeah, by the way, Striker NL, thank you for verifying that the link is working fine. Marshifer. So I'm looking for Marshifer and Marshifer, by the way, one or the other. One is more proper than the other with a capital M. Are they not here? A combat veteran on a very limited budget. Chris, I understand. I can't really do anything about the ads. The fact that I used to run without them apparently was hurting my visibility on YouTube. YouTube will not share streams where they're not going to make any money. So that is unfortunately part of me doing this. I apologize for that. Boy, oh boy. That was a lot. That was a lot of stuff. But Asteri, what's going on? Honestly tired. Got to work extension. Oh, wow. Okay. How's you? Doing good. Doing pretty good. Yeah. Araxis, what's up? Turbo's the same as if the user watched the ad. Sweet. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of ad blocks on YouTube ads have been slipping past my ad block. Lone Vaquero, that is something that Google has been working on very hard. And it's like ads are the reason a lot of entertainment is funded. A lot of your favorite TV shows and whatnot exist to basically fuel advertising. So a lot of the media that we enjoy, it's all based around advertising. So I have a love-hate relationship with advertising now that I'm someone who somewhat relies on it financially. I don't like it, and it doesn't pay me a whole lot, that's for sure. But also it's like, it's something, you know? Imagine watching a music video and you get an ad in the middle of a riff. Yeah, I mean, that's when it would be a little egregious, for sure. But generally, a music video is not going to be long enough for YouTube to add in mid-roll ads. That's 10-minute videos or longer. So, hey, silver linings, right? At least they're reasonable in that respect. Dev build of uBlock works for YouTube, although sometimes YouTube likes to intentionally sabotage the page by slow loading the video. To be clear, ad blocker is a bit of a weird topic for me. As someone who is a full-time content creator, it does somewhat help me put food on the table for like the free content you guys get to watch. So I'm not a huge fan, but I also kind of get it. So the best thing to do is probably not talk about ad blockers with me that much, because then it's not weird. There have actually been people who have been trying to push others in the Discord before to use ad blockers. And I explained my position of like, hey, I make ad revenue from AdSense and it helps me do this. Like helps me make a living. So I can't control what you do, but like I'm literally affected by it sometimes. Just a heads up. The best way to do it is generally like, Turbo on Twitch, and as you're mentioning, as y'all mentioned, premium on YouTube, because especially if you watch YouTube all the time, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. What I hate is when I pay for a service and then a few years later, they're like, oh, hey, pay double that and then you won't get ads. And it's like, no, hey, face. I already was paying that to not have ads. You can't just double that or else I'm threatened with ads. Yeah, it sucks. I'm also a consumer that has to deal with ads. So that's why I'm sort of 1 foot on either side of that fence. You know what I mean? You had 3 ads in the middle of The Greatest Show on Earth by Nightwish. How long is that song? I know Nightwish can have some long songs, but damn. Yeah, I got rid of Netflix and Prime. I mean, like there's certain ones, I don't know. I don't like Crunchyroll as a company, but I like my anime, 20 minutes? Yeah, that sounds like Nightwing. Okay. Nightwish. Excuse me. Nightwing would probably fit in, though. Every couple months I do the free trial of Prime. I do Prime because I do ship a lot. I do get a lot of stuff shipped here. Like for, setup and for parts for builds and things like that. It ends up, yeah. How ironic, an ad just popped up. Did you get paid if someone uses YouTube Premium? Yeah, Will. It basically acts as if you watched an ad. Yeah. And it's the same pretty much. Like that should have made, I should have guessed that already. But that's what was mentioned as Twitch Turbo doing. Yeah, it pretty much works the same for Premium, YouTube Premium. Essentially, I'm providing entertainment that is keeping you coming back to YouTube and paying for Premium, I guess. Edutainment, if you will. But no. I'm not trying to, Chris, I'm not trying to get you to pay anything. But it does mean that sometimes you're going to watch some ads. That's all. And it just explaining that a little bit. It's one thing to block trackers like Meta Facebook when they have them all over the websites, but blocking ads for a free service. Yeah. No. See, and also there are some advertisements on some sites that are malicious and, misleading. That's not cool. That deserves to be blocked. Okay, anyways, so Marshifer not here. Dylan Holcomb, are you here? 7664. Dylan. Yeah, you guys are not, I'm not the type to like sit here being like, yeah, drop those Prime subs. And I'm not hating on streamers that do that, where that's like their primary source of income. I've told y'all many times that if you use a discount code with an SI, not with VIP CDK deals, by the way. I don't get extra for per usage of that. But with SIs, that is an affiliate thing. That does help me out. That does make me able to do this job, because I'll tell you, AdSense doesn't pay a lot. Google AdSense does not pay a lot at the size of my YouTube channel, and Twitch ads don't pay a lot when I have, 30 or 40 people in here. In fact, I mean, I'm costing Twitch money for my I'm streaming at 4K on Twitch. It's the same bit rate, so it probably looks like something. But yeah, Dylan Holcomb, are you here? I need to check both chats. But yeah, I've always been pretty upfront about the fact that, I prefer to get support from you guys by you saving money instead of spending extra money. That's why if there's something where it's like September and I'm like, hey, by the way, you can save on subs if you want to do that, I might say something, but I don't run subathons. I don't ask. There's only been a couple of times where I was in a real pinch to try to get to Computex or something, and I'm like, hey, let's try a dono thing. And then it like didn't really do much, and I'm like, that's fine. I found another way to make it. And those who helped, thank you. Or I refunded it or whatever. I don't remember how I handled that situation, but I mean, I've never really done a big, a big funding thing or anything like that. Hey, I got to pay a dental bill. Can y'all cough up some money? No. Like, though I don't think that's invalid or a bad thing to do necessarily, unless they're lying about the reason they're asking for it, then that's just be honest. Like, hey, I'd like some money. I want to live. That's fine. But for me, using coupon codes saves you money and supports what I do. And I'm upfront about it. And it's not like there's one SI that does it, that I do that with. There's like a dozen. So there's choices. Dylan is back. Okay, cool. A white build. Look at that. Hey, haven't done one of these in a bit. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I moved our glowing RGB. Now it's more visible all the time, which makes me happy. But yeah, I can't imagine it's that fun to have somebody like when you're having this like, God, we're drowning in advertisements, and having someone that maybe you like to watch coming back at you with like, yeah, but maybe ads are like okay sometimes, guys. That can't be like that great of a feeling, and I'm just being upfront with you guys. Like, it does contribute a little bit towards my livelihood. It's not a lot, but every little bit can count sometimes. Speaking of 4K Twitch streaming, I was having issues with the 4K. Had to downscale, no 1080 option. Had to go to 720. It runs smooth now. Yeah, you should have that option. And I think for some reason going to 4K does undercut having 1080p simple green. I don't know why, but because I look at so much text and little numbers and text stuff, I need to stream in 4K. And also I want to stream in 4K on YouTube, and Twitch has it in their TOS that their viewers need to have an equivalent experience to any other platform that I'm streaming on. There's a lot of passive aggressiveness in TOS on Twitch, I'll tell you what. It's like, okay, raise your bit rate then, because I can do 35K to YouTube. It's limited to 8 with you guys. So, or make AV1 more of a thing. Like an actual thing, not in beta, not to a limited number of people. To AV1. Let's go. I appreciate it no matter what. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. I hate talking about money. I'll tell you, it's in life, and especially with you guys. Don't like talking about money at all. But speaking of money, Dylan, let me ask you a question real quick. What is the actual maximum budget for your build? And I'm not talking about a range like this. This helps with my charts, my data, and whatnot. The sort of the anonymous data that I get from these forums, like no personal info. Just hey, look, this is that. Just a chart. How many people want to stream? How many people want to do this? What are budgets looking like, more or less? That kind of thing. But no, what is the actual solid number for your build? 2250, 2500, exactly, whatever it might be. What is that number? It's not often not the res that's the issue, it's the bandwidth, and he's only uploading at 6,000 kilobits per second, 6 megabit. Left on mobile, most people have that at home. I believe I'm doing 8K or 8 megabit. Yeah, 8,000 kilobits per second. Now, the bit rate is hanging out at around 6,000, but that's, my internet is insane. That's on Twitch's end. Last I checked with Twitch, Kick, YouTube, every non-subscriber viewer that watches an ad, it's a single penny added. That was going based off of when I used to stream. May go back to it. Asteria, you should, for one thing. The other side, though, is on YouTube, it's a little better. 2,500. Okay, good to know. Just gaming at 4K. All right, all right. In white, you want a lot of RGB. It is priced to performance, and you want to be able to upgrade over time. Upgrade your CPU over time, specifically. Okay. Starforge needs to do an option for a white system at every level, I think. That would really double their SKUs, and I know that'd be a pain in the butt, but I wish they would do that. Well, if it's price to performance, I haven't been too impressed with iBuyPower for a while now in terms of their ready-to-ship systems. So let's check SkyTech first. Let's just go high to low. How? These guys, they're cracked, man. It's insane. That's insane. What is this? 9800X3D and a 5080 with a 2 terabyte Gen 4 drive for $22.99 is insane. I mean, let's be honest. It's not going to be a boutique build, meaning you're not going to have all color matched components on the inside. It's a white case. It's got, but this is not a boutique build. This is a bunch of parts crammed into a white case for your white build, okay? But that's freaking crazy, okay? In this economy, $32 gigs DDR5 6000. Why not? 2 terabyte Gen 4 drive, probably like an NV3, so not a high performance drive. Well, it's PCIe Gen 4, and it's going to have good speeds, but not like onboard DRAM cache, that kind of thing. The high end stuff. Still a fast drive, okay? For gaming, plenty. It's fine. The 9800X3D by itself is almost $500. Not to mention the 5080 being $1,000. And then you build the rest of the PC for $700. Yeah, that actually tracks, I guess. Okay, all right, sure. Why not? Now, what's up, Kaiser? How's it, Kaiser Gaming YouTube? What's up? How's it going? No, I'm just saying that this pricing is crazy. It's good. It's very, it's very good. Like, this is hard to accomplish. And they're just doing it. Just like oh, they lost my settings. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I mean, that's great. This is why I was like, let's go to SkyTech. Let's just go to SkyTech first. Or Chaos, it is not an M-ATX board. That is just the picture. If you look at, it's at X870 for the motherboard, actually. Not even B850. Now, I'm thinking, oh, nope. Z790, 14900K. No, thank you. Get out. Out. It's too bad. It really is too bad. I love the look of that build, but it ain't right. It just ain't right. See, this is a downgrade. 7800X3D, you know, not as thermally efficient. Zero overclocking if you're ever interested in that. Worse performance in anything other than gaming. And at gaming it's close, but no cigar. See, the thing is, I would normally ask questions like, well, what kind of games are you going to be playing? It doesn't matter. It's a 58, 4K all day long. No problem. But yeah, X870 is the motherboard. As it says here, product images used on this page are for illustrative purposes only and are not indicative of exact components used at the time of manufacture, including the fact that it doesn't match what's listed here. I have to say, I am sort of back, like I'm sort of walking back something I stated previously. Okay? DF Starfield, what's up? Thank you for the lurk. I criticized Skytech for something previously that I'm now thinking is probably a good thing. They are erring on the side of posting pictures of the PC in a worse state than what you are going to be receiving. As in, they're not showcasing a decked out PC and sending you something lesser. They're showing you an M-ATX build, which inherently is going to have bad looking cable management because you can't have good cable management if you go with a smaller motherboard and a larger case. Okay, they're doing that, but this is an X870 board. Like, this board even has no cover over the rear I/O, like no like shield over it, none of that. Terrible like VRM cooling, whatever, and it's M-ATX. A black M-ATX motherboard in a white case is a bad look, but they're basically erring on the side of it looking worse than it's going to out of the box. That's actually kind of a good guy thing to do. So, do you think that PC companies like Skytech can pretty much compete with home builds now in price? It really depends on the market, Kaiser. I feel like every time I see someone who's made one now, I can find it for the same price. Yeah, Kaiser, here's the thing, is in this, it depends on the market. For a while, it was like impossible to get GPUs at retail, and only SIs could do it for a reasonable price. And that's just really it's gonna shift. If I give you an answer now and someone comes back and watches this VOD, if I'm not very clear about that, they might be like, oh, well, then I'll just buy a pre-built. But there's times where retail is better. Like, you can get a 5070 Ti for $730. That's $20 under MSRP at some micro centers right now. The PNY model, and it's under original announced MSRP. That's crazy. But this is a damn good deal. The problem is it's hard to compare. We don't know the exact components. But this is probably just a few $100s over a PC part picker list. And that is built with Windows installed and licensed and tested, shipped, because shipping is free, and with a 1-year warranty, including shipping. Like the shipping part of the warranty. That is so hard to quantify. How do you quantify the value of that? And this is even before my discount, because I have a discount code. So yeah, this is difficult to quantify, but probably like for most people, unless you really, really want to be the warranty, you want to be the builder, all of that, this is going to beat a DIY build in terms of value any day of the week. I have the Eclipse. I love it. Also came with Asus X870 Max Gaming Wi-Fi 7. That's a pretty solid board. Araxxon Steel says performance mode at 4K is going to look great. Makes 4K gaming very much possible. Araxxon on the 5070 Ti that's in this system that I use right here, any game at 4K, it just runs. And I don't even think about it. It just knocks it out. Tanmay, welcome. Okay, so Dylan, what do you think? It's not going to look exactly like this. You're going to have a full-size motherboard, all of that. But what do you think? Kaiser, thank you for the $2 super chat. Let's go, nerds. Thank you very much, Kaiser. I mean, you're welcome. I think Mikey's in shock over there. Mikey, any boutique builder will be in shock looking at high volume sellers. Remember, like, the fact that these 9800 X3Ds are in sold, or they buy them in trays and trays of them. It's all volume. It's all the economics of scale, right? Honestly, it's great for what I'm looking for. Yeah, I can imagine. Highest end gaming CPU on the market, though at 4K, very few games are going to benefit from the 9800 X3D. Who freaking cares? This is $300 under budget. $200 under budget, excuse me, before my discount. Okay? So here, let me give you the link to this first. I'm going to add my tag on the end of that link. So it might automatically add my discount code. I'm not sure. I still haven't checked that. Sorry. And the code, SWARM. Let's see how much this comes out to with the code. Oh, also, you can use some of that extra but leftover budget to get yourself the 2 or 3 year refundable protection program. I can absolutely recommend that. Let me see. And that explains it here if you change that. Okay. I'll leave it on the 1 year for now, though. Yeah, okay. So you say. All right. SWARM. And that is $69 off. Nice. So that makes it $22.30 and 99 cents with free shipping. So, yeah. I don't know where you're going to beat that. I don't know who can beat that, who can possibly beat that price. Jeff, what have you done? I know you're out there, Jeff. Maybe you're not here, but you're out there somewhere. Jeff, what have you done? Now, there's a question on the forum that asks if you prefer price to performance for your PC, or alliteration there a little bit by accident, or if you want a boutique build. Now, what does that mean? Is this a boutique build? It is not. Skytech Gaming sells a lot of PCs per month. I'm talking 5 digits, okay? And with that kind of scale, although they have a great track record with customer service and tech support in our own community from people who have actually bought from them, it's still not a boutique experience where you can talk directly to the person, directly to someone at the company like that who's actually, you might need to go through customer service. Maybe it won't be someone who can immediately do stuff for you. They got this and that, an escalator or whatever. No. You talk to, in many cases, the owner of the company when you need help on something. You have a much more attention to detail in the build. One person does the build from start to finish. Okay. They're going to do things like color matching all the parts, which you're not necessarily going to get that with this. Externally, it's going to be a white PC. Internally, not so much. But you do pay extra for all that. And people who choose boutique understand they are paying more for the experience. And it's a buying experience and an ownership experience. Okay? It's not just paying more just to have fun with that. You know what? Here's more money. Yeah, go buy yourself something nice. No, you're getting a better buying experience and a better ownership experience, which can last for years. But price to performance, it's never gonna be equivalent. This is apples to oranges. I mean, personally, I like both. Does SkyTech have a site code you can add that to? Probably. Dylan, when you go to the site, it may give you a code for $50 off. You should be able to stack that with my discount, by the way. Just enter both Swarm and then the $50 off one. But if anything, you can just use mine because it's more than 50 bucks. I appreciate the help. One more question. What would be the top three outright GPUs for 4K gaming? The 5090, 4090, and 5080. There you go. You have one of them in this build. A 5090 costs as much as this whole PC, by the way. It costs two 5080s to get a 5090. And a 4090 is close to the price of this PC. The whole PC. The 5080 in this case is actually kind of a bargain. At least Hardware Unboxed showed you can get an average 9% better performance from a 9800 X3D with 5090. It was more like maybe 4% with a 5080, but either way, if you play games at 1440p, the difference could be 9%, but it still might be FPS over the hertz limit of your monitor. Okay. But yeah, the top three GPUs on the market are the 5090, the 4090, and the 5080. And out of those, the 5080 costs less than half of a 5090. All that VRAM. Well, I mean, there's no game, Tanmay, that requires 24 and definitely not 32 gigs of VRAM. 16 gigs of VRAM can play any game on the market with full-on textures, everything. Lavaquero, I absolutely agree with you on Baja Blast. It's like an entire reason to go to a restaurant. It's a whole reason to go to Taco Bell. It's crazy. I'm still enjoying my Alexander Hero you recommended. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. See, here's another thing. Boutique builder that is specific to Alexander PCs. Lifetime warranty, parts and labor. Nuts. Absolutely crazy. And they go to great extent to legitimize that lifetime warranty. That's the kind of thing that you can maybe expect from well, it's going to definitely you're definitely be looking at more personalized service, and it's the difference between the service you get at a chain restaurant versus a 3 Michelin star restaurant. You know what I mean? It's definitely more expensive to eat a 3 Michelin star one, but you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. City Skyline 2 mods beg for more VRAM and RAM. Tanmay, you know that game is an outlier, though. It is an anomaly. It is an anomalous game. It is not the norm. Okay, Michael L. Are you still here? I know I do these at my own pace. Sorry. It's free. You know what they say about services, goods and services, right? There are three options, right? Good, fast, and cheap. Pick two. I like to think what I do is good and definitely cheap because it's free. So it's not necessarily going to be fast. Watching it fill 128 gigs of RAM was blood chilling. Tamay, remember, that doesn't mean it requires 128 gigs of RAM. A lot of games that are poorly optimized, and no one would accuse City Skyline 2 of being anything like optimized, right? It's not going to, like, it's going to look at what resources are available and just use them all, which is one of the ways that you get myths like, oh, you can't game with 8 gigs of VRAM or 12 gigs of VRAM even. This used 15 out of my 16 gigs of VRAM. It's because you have 16 gigs of VRAM, buddy. That's why it used it, because it saw it. And it's like, well, you have this, so I might as well go and take a little bit of that right there. It's like, oh, my CPU is running at 5.8 gigahertz because it can. That doesn't mean that this game requires a CPU that can do 5.8 gigahertz. It just notices that, I mean, it just, hey, run it up however much you can because we need to move some ones and zeros and beeps and boops. Meanwhile, I'm using my new PC to play Roller Coaster Tycoon. That just means you have great taste, Asteri. I cannot get enough of Let's Game It Out. Who's with me? Let's Game It Out at first bothered the hell out of me because it was like, dude, what are you? That's not how you play that game. And now I watched it and I'm like, oh yeah, that ain't how you play that game, but that's how you play that game, buddy. You go, Josh. Let's Game It Out is probably my favorite gaming channel on YouTube. And he doesn't upload very often. And that's because I am a like lifetime Game Grumps fans from the very early days. Since, I mean, for before Game Grumps formed and it was, you know, just Ego Raptor on Newgrounds, okay? But I actually remember one of the Grumps recommending, like Dan recommended to Aaron, he's like, you need to watch Let's Game It Out. Like, oh yeah, the chaos is so good. Bro, Josh is hilarious, and his dedication to bits is insane. Yeah, no, like there have been like his editors has come forward, or I don't know if he has multiple or what, but they've come forward and been like, no, he spends 15 hours on a bit. He'll do it. It's crazy. The dedication of the bit is the best part, and when you can tell when he genuinely stumbles upon something. Because that laugh comes out and it's like, he's really delighted. Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny. Amazing channel. Go watch Let's Game It Out on YouTube if you have never watched it. It's so funny. Just don't expect quality gameplay, okay? It's a different kind of, yeah. That's why I even got to Satisfactory. I mean, yeah, I never played it, but I got enough out of Satisfactory from his videos. I was like, oh, that's good chaos right there. I don't think I have enough time, the amount of time I would want to dedicate to a game like Satisfactory. Might as well use since we paid for it. I'm looking for RAM. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm happy with Anno 1800. It's not the best, but it runs on anything. Linus always talks about it, which has sparked my interest in it now and then. But Michael L is here. Sorry, I just saw that. You are learning a lot. I'm happy to hear it. But the reason I'm calling out for you is because it is your turn. So I'm glad you're here. And you're looking for a pre-built 1440p just gaming. Now, if I may ask, so you've heard me ask this a few times. What is the actual max budget for your build? Like the number, the cap. Not a range, just is it 1350? Is it 1450? Is it exactly 1500 or 1000? What are we looking at? Excuse me. While I'm waiting for that answer, let me ask you guys, because just so y'all know, I'm going to try it one more time, by the way. But I did change my Sunday gaming streams to be more PC matchmaking. So for those of you who like hanging out for that, Sunday around 8 p.m. Central, clear your schedule. Whatever you had planned, doesn't matter. Come hang out. Last time it didn't go well. I was extremely exhausted. I was only able to stream for like 45 minutes, but also not many people showed up. But if I do go back to gaming streams, I need to just ask y'all sometimes if there's something that you want me to play. I don't really do that. I'm usually like, hey, this is my gaming stream. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play this. And I don't know. I should take suggestions, even though it usually means I'm going to have to buy a game. So it would cost me money, but I don't know. No, I don't want to play old school RuneScape. I would like, that's something where you can't let like, because I have a little bit of gaming talent where I can pick up a game and just play it pretty well. That's just like, I don't know enough, I feel. I appreciate the suggestion, Mikey. Araxinus, you like the chiptune like rock songs? It's funny because it's actually the chip rock album from backingtrack.gg. So it's chip rock is what it's called. I think I'd get away with AM5 5070 5060 Ti 16 gig system with that budget. Oh, I mean, we'll see what's out there. Or Chaos. You know where I'm going. I'm probably going to go because it's incomparable right now. Skytech is murdering it. They're killing it 100%. And I'm going to see what they have. If they don't have anything I like, I'll look elsewhere. But yeah, it's crazy. But 1500, got it. But yeah, here, Araxinus. This music can be used in any way that you want for like streaming or content creation, but also you can just listen to it for free. And it's copyright-free music. And the album is, let me see, Chip Rock. Hold on, I have it right here. Yeah, see, there you go. Chip Rock expansion pack that's what this one's called. Jimmy Python. The previous one was Rockman, as in referencing Mega Man. I'll let that run again. Do polls in chat to give you to get to give options and see viewer demand. I'll be honest with you, Tanmay. I do polls, and like 3 people respond. It's not my most it's not my best engagement. I'll tell you. Richard Nicholson says it's nonstop laughter. I think Richard is talking about Let's Game It Out. Yeah, we were talking about Let's Game It Out quite a while ago. Okay. All right. When it comes to price to performance, I don't see anybody beating. You know who I want to check real quick? Hold on. This is actually a good price point usually for Stints build. I want to see what they got real quick. Give me a sec. Stints build is super solid. Oh yeah, they got some good budget systems here. Oh, okay. All right. They're already getting that right now, but thank you, Jeff. Signature series. Let's see what's at $1,500. No. Yeah, they kind of skipped over the $1,500 price point. It's unfortunate. 1369, 9060 XT 16 gig. 5060 Ti 8 gig. No, okay. All right, it was worth checking out. I wanted to see. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and pretend there's no other brands. It's not just the fact that they have insane prices. It's the variety. They have a lot of variety in their builds. That really helps with trying to find the best balance. Hold on. Let me adjust this more. 7700X 5070. Oh man. That's yeah. 7800X 5060 Ti 16 gig. Okay. You're doing 1440p. That's more GPU than CPU, okay? This blue is so cool. It's so good. And $100 off. That should stack with my code, by the way. 7800X 3D. Okay. 9700X 5060 Ti 16 gig. 7700 and a 5070. 7700X and a 5070. What was this top one here? 1 terabyte storage. There are some of these that have 2 like that, but that's 14400F. And a free monitor? You gotta be freaking kidding me. You used to go to iBuyPower. Seems Skytech has better deals now. Like in the last few streams, I've looked at iBuyPower, and it's not very. They're not really competing that hard. It's Skytech. It just beat them out every time. So I'm just like, come here. That's the issue. I've seen about 6 or 7 that are between the $1,250 and $1,500 price point. Well, the thing is, if you were looking at 1080p gaming, one of these with a 5060 Ti 16 gig and an X3D chip, that'd be the way to go. But if you're looking at at 1440p gaming, a 5070 is going to perform better. Now, let me ask you this, Michael. What kind of games are you looking at playing? Or what specific titles are you looking forward to playing? Is Call of Duty one of those? What are we looking at? I mean, most of these you really can't go wrong. The only thing is I wouldn't put you on this one with the free monitor because it's a 14th gen Intel CPU, and upgrades are going to be minimal options there. No, you're not looking to upgrade the CPU, and that's fine. You're going to get way better performance out of like one of these X3D chips, like 100%. So not really 100%, but you know what I mean. F1. Okay. Yo, hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, hold on. Shady Lady 007 rating with a party of 15. Let's go, nerds. Thank you, Shady Lady. How the heck are you doing? Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Little shout out there. Y'all go drop a follow for Shady Lady 007. Piddles Neon, how's it going? Welcome. Is that a is that a twerking turtle? Is that a twirtle that I see there? That's a great emote. I like it a lot. That's awesome. Going good. I was schooling chat about 3-axis gimbals and was excited to see you streaming. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, there's my new PC. Ignore the tail, the stinger sticking up. It's supposed to be on the back, but the magnet fell off. They're magnetic light box pieces, and it's supposed to be this guy here, but as a PC. By the way, that's my new editing PC that I built. But yeah, and hold on. There we go. So, and I'm sorry, Michael, I'm going to get back to your build in just a second. So, Shady Lady, what's up, Alari Red Fox? Welcome. How's it going? So what I have is I have my camera which is way overkill, by the way. It's an FX3. I'm also a YouTuber, so I have justification for that, okay? Anyways, I have it on the RS4 from DJI, and the fun thing is... Stop shaking. I have it mounted to the wall, and it comes off the wall, but whatever. This is the camera, the follow camera from the DJI RS4 Mini. And this is the adapter plate that they make for the RS4 gimbal that it just magnetically attaches to. And then you can hold up your hand to have it start following you, and then you hold up your hand again to have it stop following you. And it is really cool. I just need to get that hooked back up now. Hold on. And boop. Here we go. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. I love a magnet. Oh, 100%. And did I show you this before? Hold up. That desk is a mess. We don't talk about that. Did I show you my wireless Steadicam setup that I put together? Okay, first off, V-mount, super satisfying. Yep. Love a V-mount. Oh, I did? Okay. Yeah, so I could just get one of these pieces that's just a wireless HDMI and hook it up to, say, I have an FX30 over here. Hook it up to the FX... Oh, it's actually ceiling mounted right now for a top-down camera. Or whatever. I have ZV-E10, you know. But my hands, I have essential tremors. So that's not very forgiving for that. Even with IBIS in, say, the FX3, if I did that, it would be not that good. But the Osmo Pocket 3, when sufficiently supported, super steady. And this goes wireless to a receiver, goes into my capture card, and I have a wireless camera for when I'm doing PC builds or unboxing, pre-built unboxing and review, stuff like that. Really cool. Anyways, so my goal is to get all my Twitch homies addicted to gear, so I feel justified. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Start a YouTube channel and you can justify any gear. It's a little harder to justify for if you're just like streaming games and stuff. But also I do unboxings and PC builds and things like that where I'm moving around and top-down camera, lighting all over the place, all that. But the YouTube channel thing, that's a great way to justify that stuff, I'll tell you. What did I tell you before? I never buy gear I don't need. And by never, I mean constantly. So, yeah. So we were doing what I do here. For those of you who are new here, by the way, welcome. I do PC matchmaking. If I'm not building a piece, doing a PC build or unboxing a pre-built and testing it out, running it, putting it through its paces, seeing the quality of the build, stuff like that. I do PC matchmaking most of the time. Meaning someone gives me their info as in like what their budget is for either a pre-built or a DIY parts list, right? They tell me what they're going to use the PC for, other little factoids as well that help me make a solid recommendation. I give a one-on-one for free, which is what I'm doing now. And yeah, it's all free. Basically, I just help you overcome option paralysis, which is a real problem in the PC space, I'll tell you. Speaking of which, back to this. I think with F1 being your primary game, Michael, I think you're going to be fine with the Azure 2 here. This is kind of an insane deal for $14.99 with a 5070 and a 7700X. It's socket AM5. It's AMD socket AM5, which they're still going to be supporting for a few years. You're not planning on upgrading your CPU, I know. But even though you see an X3D chip on this one here, you're looking at 1440p. And if you were gaming at 1080p, any X3D chip is going to give you more benefit at lower resolution. At higher resolution, that falls off a bit. Good luck justifying the Threadripper dual RTX 6000 Pro video editing rig to the tax auditor, though. No, actually, that's literally all enterprise components or prosumer components or chaos. Like, I feel like that exemption writes itself, or that writes itself. That justifies itself. Now, as for your 9800X 3D 5090 gaming rig, that's a little harder to justify, I think. Vaquero, on Brayathorn, I was wanting to know, got any recommendations on keyboards? I was wanting either a Hall effect or mechanical blue switch. Blue switch. I'm not judging. That face was, I had a little indigestion, congestion. Here's a suggestion. Don't go blue. Go silent tactical. Silent tactile. Tacticals. Go silent tactiles. Okay? It's a quality of life thing. For those around you, actually. Anyways, I really like this thing. So this is the Ducky 1X. I'm not in the right screen for this. Hold on. This is why I have the pedals. There we go. Love it. Shady, I got to tell you, the Elgato pedals, freaking phenomenal for look ma no hands moments like that. Anyways, also when I'm standing up doing stuff, it's the best. So this is a full sized, but this is one of those sort of like, analog, you said Hall effect, but it basically has rapid trigger. It has sort of the analog effect where, if you press as far down as you press the key, it also can have that effect in certain games where you can like walk or run depending on how far you're pressing W, how deeply you're pressing the key. But also rapid trigger means that if you're trying to do rapid strafing or anything like that, you don't have to completely lift the key back up in order to press it down again. You can sort of just like barely press it up. It's adjustable. It uses a web-based software. It's not software-based. It's all web-based to interface with this and change stuff. Ducky 1X, they have a 10 keyless as well, but I wanted the full thing because I like me a 10 key, honestly. Oh, I'm aware of blue switches. Yeah. Well, you can't get this effect with blue switches. Just saying. Anyways, but yeah, I'm basically going to recommend this one to you, Michael L, because it's it's not going to be fully $14.99, which is basically maxing out your budget. I do have a discount code like I do for many SIs. And this one is going to bring it down probably like $40 or so. But hold on, actually, let me check something. No, that's not what I meant to press. Sorry. I also, Shady, I also use this as a stream deck as well, and I mix up buttons all the time. But Shady, by the way, you were just streaming. If you're wanting to get a screen break, go do your self-care stuff, all of that. I appreciate you trusting me with your community. You know I appreciate that. But yeah, feel free, and otherwise feel free to hang out, and we can yammer about gear more. Plus, you can stack DOTW 2025. Deal of the Week 2025. Yes. So we're going to try that out. Let's give it a shot. Wait, that lost the... Hold on, let me move forward again. It doesn't say that here, but we're going to give it a try. Get rid of that one. Go to checkout. So we go SWARM, that's my code. And then we go Deal of the Week, or DOTW 2025. And apply. And that's another $100 off. So hold on. That's $13.54. We're $150 under budget. Ducky 1X. ONEX. Lone Vaquero. Let me try. Actually, we'll look at a $1,600 or $1,700 PC. We might be able to get you an even better PC than this. Why not? Let's look at it. Because it doesn't hurt to look, okay? Or just, So let's bring that up. And we'll go to, let's say, $1,650. Or, there we go. Sort price high to low. Not all of these are going to have that Deal of the Week thing. So we got to pay attention to that. All right. Well, that's something. It doesn't have the Deal of the Week thing, though. So that won't fit in the budget. Yeah, there wasn't one that also used there's this, but it's a 14700F. No, don't do that. It does have double the storage, and that's great. But no, don't go 14th gen Intel over Ryzen in this situation. No. See, that's a 9070. 9070 XT. Let me try the deal of the week thing. I mean, on one of these. Why not? $9900X makes no sense there. Hell, let's try this. Let's try this. Why not? The King 95 is absolutely sick. So let's try it with that. Nope, doesn't work with that. Tell the raid party what we do here. I already did that, Tenmei. Unless you said that a while ago. Let's look at 1600. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I mean, are you saying your budget is higher than 1500? Because you did say your max budget was $1,500. But yeah, no, this stays at 7 unless you, except for my code SWARM. Apply, and that takes off $51, so that's $1648.99. It's still $150 over your stated max budget of $1,500. Let's see. So that's the original system I recommended. I will say the only weakness of this system is that it just has 1 terabyte of storage. However, adding storage is the easiest upgrade you can make. Like I'm talking about a 5-minute YouTube video should cover everything you need to know about adding another M.2 drive and activating it in Windows, no problem. But yeah, what it comes with is 1 terabyte. That'll get you going for a while, though. Let's see. This is where we can shop by deal of the week. Shop deals. Okay. Yeah, see, 14700F, nope. 14700F, nope. And with 1440p, your GPU is more important. So the 7800X3D 5060 Ti 16 gig, not better than the one with the 5070. Literally everything close to what we're talking about, they go with 14th gen Intel, which I can't recommend. And then there's the one we talked about. Michael, I feel like you're... Okay. Okay, you're a little behind on the stream, but that's you're not that far behind. It's okay. So let's actually really... No, I mean, yeah, these are all pretty good. It's just the 14th gen Intel ones I would stay away from. The main decision here is choosing... First off, you got to like the blue, for one thing, if you want this one here. But this one prioritizes the CPU over the GPU for the same price. 7800X3D and 5060 Ti 16 gig would be perfect if you wanted to do esports titles at 1080p with the highest refresh rate possible. Otherwise, you're not leveraging that X3D chip. Better off to go with a 7700X that can kind of do it all and is a perfectly great gaming chip CPU, because at 1440p, the CPU isn't all that important for 95% of games. Like certain games, Call of Duty, for example, or certain real-time strategy games will require more CPU performance, even at higher resolutions. But that's a very small percentage of games that require that at higher resolution. It's mostly graphics card. That's where graphics happen. That's what you got to focus on at higher resolution. Well, Vaquero, here's the thing. You did the problematic thing, you understand. You said, hey, got any recommendations on keyboards? I'm not giving you a budget, so that means my budget is infinite. You're here all the time. You should know the number one piece of information to give if you have a budget is the budget. There are great $50 keyboards out there, but I didn't know that you wanted to stick to a lower price. And then that's fine. It's valid info if you have, like, hey, what's good for $50? What's good for $75? But if you're like $150 US, that's a lot, and that's true. But if you're recommending and actively using it, it must be worth it. No, if you're looking for something that's fine. I get it. I swear. Like, guys, I've gone literally into like Roby's shorts on YouTube and commented because he responds to people who don't give a budget. And I'm like, y'all, give him a budget. Make this man's job easier. Because then he has to go over every product in the whole budget spectrum for like monitor recommendations. No. Okay, cool. All right. Let me give you a link for this. There we go. Oh, by the way, Michael, shipping is free, which is crazy. I mean, the whole thing is an insane deal. $1,350 for a system with a 5070, a 7700X, so it's socket AM5. I know you're not looking to upgrade your CPU, but you totally can for years to come. Gen 4 drive, although it's 1 terabyte. The 750 watt power supply is okay. I mean, that's more than the minimum required for a 5070. I would usually go a little bigger, but still, the price is nuts. And Skytech has got a great reputation in our community for a good reason. A full-size B650 motherboard, 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler, 32 gigs DDR5 6000, which is the proper frequency for this Ryzen 7000 series CPU. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, and it's Ducky 1X. But no, there's a lot of other good keyboards out there. You got to believe me. It's just if this is Ducky, in fact, Ducky has other keyboards as well that are really nice. It's just the 1X has those sort of Hall effect switches that you're talking about, or it's called something else with them. Yeah, Corsair will charge you more and give you fewer features or the same features for more money. They're going to go higher when tariffs kick in. Well, settle this. They have kicked in and then kicked off and then kicked back in. So, by the way, with white case build, Skytech includes white keyboard and mouse. Settle this. That must be a new thing. They have sent me a white build and they did not do that. That's awesome, actually. That's really cool. Logitech still has soldered switches. It's so sad. I really like hot swappable. Anyway, let me put this on the list here. Well, anyone who came in who's, by the way, let me see. A few people who followed, I appreciate y'all. Jacob, Port Zero Cyber a couple hours ago. Quake followed and we helped them out. D1 Bound 1, that was yesterday. D1 Bound. Well, thank all of y'all for the follows. I appreciate you. If you like talking about PC stuff, this is a cool place to hang out, I think. I mean, I'm biased, maybe. A little bit, but thanks so much for your guidance. You're very welcome, Michael. It's honestly a well-balanced system, IMO. The balance should be on the GPU if you're going 1080p. And mess with the game settings. Find a good spot. See what works for your setup, and have a great time. Ducky calls it inductive. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what Hall effect is. It's an inductive thing. Like an inductive stove, inductive cooktop uses magnets, electromagnets. That's how that works. Which is also Hall effect, essentially. Ish. I mean, it's all variations on the same thing. I'm actually wondering something. Oh, no, I guess not. What, guys, what is Mega Bonk, by the way? I see people playing that on stream. I have no idea what that is. Except that these kind of keyboards are not cheap. Sorry, or Chaos, I missed that earlier. Usually over $100 plus. Look up the Wooting 60 HE. That one is, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. One of the first Hall Effect keyboards, but it's not full size. There's a lot of people who swear by that keyboard, though, to be fair. I think it's a roguelite. Okay. I've been playing the hell out of it. It can be very addictive. Egyptian Savage, what's going on? Welcome. How you doing? How you been? Well, we were able to help out a few people tonight. That's awesome. Unfortunately, Marshifer did not return. But I'll be honest with you guys. Whenever, even though I know market conditions can affect my stream, market uncertainty, consumer uncertainty, people who are like, was going to buy a PC, I guess I'm not. I'm going to wait a while now or whatever. That can affect my stream. All kinds of things can affect how many people are actually looking for help. But even knowing that, it doesn't matter if I logically know that. Whenever we're here and we go for a little while without anybody to help, I get a little nervous about the longevity of this, how much time I got left in this concept. But that's, again, it's going to come and go. It'll boom more during, closer to Black Friday, the holidays, tax season, all that. It just happens. But it is nice when I've got people filling out the form looking for help. And that's without me regularly posting videos on the YouTube channel reminding people that they can get one-on-one help. So Shroud said he played it so much he was dreaming it in his sleep. Hold on, let me see who's... I see Duty Beard playing this, Haz playing this. Let me see. That's just watching a video. That's not Mega Bonk. All right, Haz, change your title. Huh. So, I mean, I'm getting Vampire, Vampire Hunter or whatever. What is it? Vibes. I played the game so much and I can't remember the name. That's weird. But like in a different, it's an isometric layout instead of top down. Vampire Survivor. Vampire Survivor. See, I didn't look at chat. Who said it? Nobody said it? Okay. Yeah, Vampire Survivor. It looks pretty similar, which I got addicted to that game, so... Dat Mods is playing it. Can't go wrong for the price. What's the price? Is it like $5? The body likes to put you to sleep to help in recover. Been sick, just woke up from 13-hour nap. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope the nap helped, though. The Egyptian pound got 6% more valuable, so PC parts got cheaper. Nice. $9 on sale. Damn. I prefer 75% or 96% keyboards. I find the home, page up, page down, scroll log columns the most useless. So look for 96% in full-size keyboards as they're only missing a few keys most people don't use. See, I can't do with not having at least arrow keys. Because, I don't know. It just bothers me. It's weird for me not having them. But a numpad, for me, sometimes is just it's just a comfort thing to have. I like my 10 key, Plus, you can do hotkeys and stuff with it, which is nice. It's like having an extra stream deck, if you really think about it. Yeah, 96% does have 10 key. That is correct. Yeah. But a 75% does not. 75% generally 10 keyless with arrow keys and a few of the extra keys there. I know I've got a 75% around here somewhere. The fact that give your knowledge to help away for free every Tuesday and Thursday is still at all is amazing, man. Thank you. That's why I keep coming back. Despite already having gotten my PC and don't technically need to stick around, you're also just enjoyable to watch. Vaquero, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I feel like this is also, I mean, like, in theory, the concept of this stream is like, all right, cool, I guess. But no, it actually can be a lot of fun. It can. And also, I get kind of emotional about, I get angry about PC stuff. And I was feeling bad about ranting. And I, of all people, I had Jeff texting me about how, like, no, dude, that's just who you are. You care about this stuff. And honestly, it's really entertaining. And that's why people watch. And I was like, I didn't know how to respond to that. Jeff, of all people, saying that stuff. Just he's a good guy. I'm telling y'all, he's a good guy. But yeah, also, like, there are times when this can actually be pretty hype. Like when there's a challenge, when it's like, I got to do all this. I've got this much budget. When it's like, just like, budget is $8,000 and I want to game at 4K. It's like, there's no challenge to that. Sometimes I fold under the challenge if the market is just not allowing me or I'm not finding the stuff that I need. But sometimes it's fun to try and fit a lot into a budget. We love the Bray rants. Thank you. Thank you. Are we going to see a collab between you and Jeff in the future? Celidus, just maybe you might. Maybe, maybe, maybe. We got, you know, I might have something to prove. And guys made a lot of claims. He was talking a lot of smack in a recent stream. And we're going to see if he can back it up. I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Veto? Welcome. How you doing? I got this one friend who doesn't know anything about PC parts, but he thinks he knows everything. He's so annoying. Egyptian Savage, I think we've all been there before. And here's the thing. When you're first learning about something, you get excited about it. And that's every person who's ever started a hobby. You just want to talk about it all the time. And then you get to the point where you realize, like, yo, this goes a lot deeper than I expected. Wow, I don't know as much as I thought I knew. And then one of two things is going to happen. You'll give up on it, which I hope you don't. Or you'll be like, you'll accept that and be like, that's awesome. I still have a ton to learn about this. That's really exciting. I still feel like I have stuff to learn about PCs because I have taken myself out of a lot of the in-depth stuff, you know, and I've kept it broad and shallow in order to focus on the market in general, metas of what are the best combination of PC hardware for different use cases and budgets and things like that. Because that's a very specific skill set that I'm trying to maintain and hone. So there's stuff where it's like, I'll go and watch a level 1 text video and I'm like, teach me, Wendell. Teach me more about this. I've been out of the loop. Can we get a movement that makes SSD manufacturers accept that we're not using MB-bytes, that we're actually using megabytes? Is it MB-bytes? Is that what that... man, you see, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think it's MB-bytes. And etc. 2 for 10, aka 1024 instead of base 10 1000. RAM is sold with 8 magic gnomes per bit too. Yeah. Yeah, you think they would have figured that out by now. Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect. That's been sort of like debunked, but I've seen it happen also. It's just, I think, not as common as, you know, the chart might suggest. Some people go into something always aware that there's a lot they need to learn. Yeah. You're a comedy channel to me. Thanks, Vero. I appreciate that. Nice to know I'm a joke to you. He thinks AMD is bad. He thinks an AMD GPU on 4K Ultra setting will look worse than an NVIDIA GPU on 1080p low. That's not, the settings have nothing to do with the GPUs. I don't... Okay, Egyptian Savage, you shouldn't... Like, it's hard to say don't have a specific emotional reaction. I get it. But, like, this person is saying stuff that can easily be shown to be untrue. At least take some solace in that. Just show them some YouTube reviews of hardware. Like, hey, look, that's what that looks like. What are you're wrong. And if you're wrong about this, I have some shocking news for you. You might be wrong about some other things. And you know what? That's okay. Because if you just like come down on them or yell at them or you just like, hey, shut up, idiot. That's going to close the door to them being willing to learn more stuff, depending on the kind of person they are. You know? And yeah, I might get snippy now and then on stream. That I try to keep stuff like that all in good fun. And honestly, I'm going to, okay, straight up. There are times where I realize I'm influenced by other streamers that I watch and sort of the relationships they have with chat, where they treat chat in a way like how you'll talk to a buddy. And when I'm talking to a buddy of mine, I'll give him crap over stuff instead of talking to everyone who comes in as if I'm being very polite because I'm meeting this person for the first time. That, to me, sounds like an awkward way to stream. Whereas rather, I'll give, you know, if you got food on your face and I see you got food on your face, and be like, you got food on your face. You might want to clean that up. You know, come on. You know, whatever. Like, I'll tell you. It is a thing, and I might give you a little crap for it, but like it's all in good fun. Everybody's welcome here. Y'all will troll me all the time, so I send that right back at you. But I don't know. I told him that I showed him. He doesn't believe I showed him. Wait, I told him that I showed him. He doesn't believe I showed him. My melted 4090, he said, no, NVIDIA doesn't melt. He thinks Ryzen is super. Okay, I don't know what to tell you then, Egyptian Savage. Like, that's literally 12 VH PWR connectors. So, I don't know what to tell you. They might honestly just be poking at you at this point because they know it gets to you. If you just ignore it or whatever, and you're like, hey, here's the actual proof of what I was talking about. If you don't believe it, whatever. If you let it keep getting to you, they're just going to keep going. Don't know what to say. It's like someone being like, you know, reviewers are using CL28 RAM. And I'm like, I don't care. It's suboptimal for Ryzen CPUs, 7000 and 9000 series Ryzen CPUs. So they can do whatever they want. I don't care. You know, I don't know who would say that repeatedly, like as if it's a meme or something, because it's not, but it happens. It's been known to happen. Lycos 45, what's up? Streamers like, oh no, it's Alex. I don't know them, but of them, but maybe. I'm talking about like Oats and Goats. He's okay. Actually, to be fair, he has like an antagonistic relationship with his chat. That's not what I'm looking for. That's for sure. I ignored it for 3 months. He still talks like this. Well, thank you for the super chat. I wasn't talking about you, probably. Thank you for the Australian $2.99 super chat. I probably wasn't talking about you. Maybe. Okay. All right. I've just been sitting here just yammering. It's probably time to raid somebody. So let's see who's out there. Here's somebody I'm gonna be. We were just talking about Megabonk, right? I know I raided him recently, but I'm gonna be hanging out with him at TwitchCon, so I'm gonna go ahead and raid Duty Beard once again. Let's go and do that. He's just at the top of my list there. I might as well. I'm tired and I'm ready to be off camera. Anyone who's watching on YouTube who wants to join in, please click the link in the description. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a second. Because Barnacules Nerdgasm just went live. Barnacules, y'all know who that is? Just went live. Plus muscle relaxers. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But no, I'm still gonna go ahead and raid Duty Beard though. I'm gonna go ahead and raid Duty Beard. Barnacules is awesome though. But let's raid Duty. Because I want to see, we were talking about Mega Bonk, and Barnacules is just doing less, just chatting. So let's do that. I was getting DDR5 RAM, and he said, "What FPS is that RAM?" Okay, Egyptian Savage, I feel like you're just making stuff up now. Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that. I feel like you're just making things up right now. I don't know if I believe you. He doesn't believe in GTX. Yes, I don't know how he doesn't believe that. He says it started at RTX 1. Yeah, I feel like you're making things up now. I get it. You got a friend who doesn't know tech stuff, but he thinks he knows tech stuff. You got it. I got you. Okay, guys, like that seems like exaggeration. I'm going to need to see receipts on that. Okay. All right, guys, I will see y'all on Sunday for more PC matchmaking. Yes, that's including YouTube. YouTube, you keep your click the bell. Okay. What? Hello. Hi. Camera, really? Now? Hi, I'm right here, buddy. Thank you. What was that? Okay. Because I was pointing at the camera too much, I guess. I don't know. Yes. Sunday, PC matchmaking on YouTube. Click the bell icon, whatever. Make sure you don't miss that. So that we can hang out on Sunday too, 8 p.m. Central. And if nobody shows up for PC matchmaking or nobody shows up on the list, yeah, we'll do some gaming. So I swear I'm not lying. It's okay, Egyptian Savage. I feel for you, and I hope that they learn to read and look, like send them a few links. And if they refuse to click them, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to help you on that one. But okay. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Till then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!